Welcome in. You know what? We've been too action prone. We've been
too apocalyptic the past couple of weeks.
know.
By the way, before we get into it, I want to thank everybody for wishing us a happy birthday this
Thank
past
you, everybody.
week, including our guest. I want to thank him.
Yes, he always does. Make sure to send us a nice happy birthday.
Right.
Dude, I got to tell you something.
You're off mic.
Sorry.
You can pull it closer to your face.
Yes,
you don't have to lean into it.
You can't
Yeah.
do that. Yes.
All right.
So I had texted Mullins, former guest.
Yeah.
I was
Just
like-
on a couple weeks ago.
I was like, it's
Yeah.
the 11th. It's Tim and Griff's birthday, right?
Right.
And he goes, oh, shit, yeah. And I go, well, don't text him right now because I'm about to text him, or we should swap. I'll text Tim, you text Griff, and then wait a half an hour, and I'll text Griff, and you text Tim. And he was like, I already did it. And I was like, you motherfucker, man. Like, I'm the one that reminded you, and then you went and stole my thunder.
Oh.
That was not rad. By the way, let's just introduce this fellow. We realized at the beginning of the year we hadn't had this guy on in over a year.
Yeah,
He's a
we
good
did-
friend of ours.
We did our special thank you to all of our great guests, and then Murray had to find out from the great data that I compiled
Right.
that he hasn't been on.
spreadsheet that Mike provided for us.
Well, of course. My fingers can't crunch
And I was
together
like,
those
it cannot
numbers.
be a year since we've had him on. I swore you were on in the summer or something, and I'm like, no. And I was like, we got to get this guy back on. But what do we do? Like, what movie do we do?
And it just so happened that back in those old comic book days, the same comic book store that me and Murray met each other, and that fateful...
Yeah, do people know that we have? By the way, everybody, Mr. Sean Pigeon, our friend.
Hello.
I don't think we've gotten the origin of you joining. I mean, we all, Mike Mullins, Griff, I, Pigeon, we all have known each other for, what, 10, 15 years now?
Probably 15
Yeah,
now.
15.
Yeah, and it all started with that comic book shop that Mike worked at. He brought us
Incredible.
together. I remember at the time, I thought, who's this hipster douchebag guy? Pigeon thought,
Son of a bitch.
and Pigeon's like, who is this meathead goon?
Right.
And who knew how right we were about each other?
I just like that you picked on... Not Murray. You picked on somebody else who went to the comic book store.
True.
You
Yeah.
used some hateful, words. But even you guys kind of patched it up.
They were not
later.
hateful at that time.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was about to say, you're about to get me canceled, and I don't
Yeah.
think what I said to him was that bad.
Speaking
Yeah.
of getting canceled, I want to sidetrack everything. I don't want to.
What did I say that was... what was hateful?
I'm not. We're not to any party here. I'm not trying to, call.
I know I
out.
called him Lenny,
Yeah. Okay.
assuming that
We're in the right.
had never read Of Mice and Men, and boy was I wrong.
You were
did.
very wrong about that. He is a well-read man. And he's been trying to get me on a taco date for a while, and I just reached back out to him to be like, "Hey, man, let's hang out."
By the way, we're talking about
Wants
someone who has never appeared on
Yeah.
the
Wants to
show.
pet the rabbits.
Oh, Jesus! Let's not go back there.
Speaking of getting canceled,
Speaking of,
you have a story I'd like. We're going to be positive for the rest of this.
This is our one
episode.
negative dip.
Well, all I hear about is cancel culture, and I want to be a part of that. I want to destroy someone's life, and you have a story about a guy
Oh shit!
from a band called Fallout Boy. By the way, did we mention Mr. Pigeon was in a rock and roll band?
That's true.
In the aughts, wasn't it?
Yes.
You want to tell us what the name of that band was? People may want to listen
Oh,
to
it was a
it.
band called Nevada.
And we would describe it as
U2 Meets the Cars.
okay, so like alternative rock.
Okay.
It wasn't emo, right? It wasn't emo.
It was not.
But you did have that emo haircut for a while.
You-
What
you
did,
probably.
did that haircut have a name? The one where it's like spiky in the back and
don't
like
know.
plastered in the front. It didn't
Now
have a
they
name?
call it the Karen, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Karen before
I
was
had,
cool.
I had a bright pink
Yeah.
version of the Karen, I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah.
But you had a run-in, not a personal run. It was over the phone.
Yep.
With this very woke Mr. Pete Wentz.
Oh, yeah.
Can you briefly tell us what happened in this discussion that you
He
had?
was on tour with another band.
First of all, is he Fall Out Boy? Is he the Fall Out Boy?
I would assume so.
Okay.
He was on. They were on tour with another band. I don't want to name that band.
Oh yeah, you
'Cause
don't
I
need
really
to name.
don't want to get canceled.
You don't need to name
But
names.
there was a gal in that band who was a keyboard player, and she had like kind of circled around my satellite,
Sure.
and I wasn't interested, and so she must have been telling this story while they were on tour. And so he called me up, and right when I answered the phone,
He called you.
He called me.
I thought
yeah.
she called you.
So she called me. I answered, and then they were clearly like in a limo or some shit going to some party or something. And then she put him on the phone. And then he and the rest of the head band decided.
By the way, he's going to use a word we don't use on this show,
Yeah,
but for
that's right.
the purposes of he never uses this word.
Yeah, we're
either.
retelling the story.
But we're adults.
Yeah.
and for
Is
the
this are you trying to get me canceled?
no, I'm trying to.
We're
I'm
excusing
covering
you from.
I'm
from-
saying you don't use this word.
Yeah.
This vile creep, Pete Wentz, used this word.
He did call me a British cigarette.
There,
you
there
have
we
it.
go.
There you
Because
have it, baby.
I was not interested in this gal he was on tour with.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't want this, babe. What are you like?
I
that
do
kind
have
of
a
thing?
story for you guys, though.
Oh, Jesus.
I just remembered. It's
I
been a
like
long
that we
time.
shook this tree. What kind of coconut you got for us? Is this an off?
Is this an
mic?
off the mic
This
story?
might be an off. The
Okay,
mic
we'll
story.
say that for
Well,
later.
you know what should be on mic?
So there you have it. Everybody cancel Pete Wentz.
Pete Wentz.
He's a vile
That's what we were
bigot and a
doing.
homophobe.
He cold called and cold clocked you with the
true.
strong F slang.
Right. And we
Yeah.
don't go for that.
We don't take too kindly to that.
We
That-
welcome all people to this
That's
show.
a word for Alberta, Canada, where we'll be today.
Yes. Rad. BMX biking. It was the hottest thing in the 80s. I remember. I was there.
Yeah. What kind of bike did you have? Mongoose?
You know, last week I talked about my horrible childhood.
Schwinn?
I have another horrible childhood story I could tell you that revolves around BMX bikes.
Okay, we can get out one more negative thing here, Murray. Let's get our
Yes.
negativity
Yes.
out. What's your bad bike story?
Well, as I've alluded to in the past, we were fucking broke when I was a kid.
Right.
When I was little. My dad decided to tell my mom, I want to see other people. Kicked my mom to the curb, and we wound up in Pontiac, Michigan. Shithole. We had to live there with my grandmother because we were broke. So remember, this is late 70s, early 80s, when BMX was fucking hot shit. Everyone had to get a BMX bike. I had to have my sister's bike.
Yes.
And you know, back in my day, we
Yeah.
had two genders.
Did it have tassels?
No, but it was a girl's bike. And back in my day, that didn't fly.
No.
All it was is a bar is like not this.
There were no
same way.
gender fluid bikes
Yes.
back
No,
then.
it wasn't.
No.
And by the way, we didn't have little kid bikes like we do now. You had to ride a fucking adult bike,
Yep.
and you so high your feet couldn't touch the ground, so you wiped out if you didn't know how to fucking.
Oh, yeah.
And you had no pads, no helmet.
Yup.
Anyway, get back to my story. So
Please.
I had my sister's fucking shitty ass girl bike. All my buddies had the cool fucking BMX bikes. Finally, for like a birthday, my mom's gonna get me a fucking BMX bike.
Yeah.
We go up to the Schwinn
was
store.
Schwinn.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's still a bicycle place down the street from me, but it's not Schwinn any longer.
Okay.
It was Schwinn. I picked out. It had the fucking mag wheels on it. It had the fucking shield on it. You put the numbers on.
Yeah, and you, of
pads.
course, went for a number one.
I think it was 11 because it's my birthday.
Oh.
But I don't remember. This
makes
is a 45-year-old memory here. But we'll get back to the trauma. So I had this bike. I was like cool. All my buddies. All right. So remember, I'm like 5 at this time, 5 or 6. I decided I'm going to go riding down by the schoolyard, which is just a block away from where I lived. Guy, a teenager, practically an adult, like 15, 16. When you're 5, that's like an adult.
That is
What year is this?
It's like 79, 80, something
Okay,
like
so
that.
79, 80, and he's a 15, 16-year-old. He probably has a full beard.
Yeah, he's like 27, basically, by today's standards.
Basic.
He's crushing beers on that
Inflation. You gotta, inflation.
He's like, hey,
Whatever.
come here. Can you know so-and-so? Being the naive kid I was like, oh, no. Like, I got close to him. I don't know that guy. Jumps me, grabs a bike, slams me. I'm like on the bike. He picks the bike up, slams it down, grabs my bike, takes off laughing.
Laughing.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough to just harass a child.
Right. So it's not like
Has
one of
to
these things
laugh
where like,
at you.
oh, I feel bad for this guy because he probably he's stealing this bike because he needs money to put food in his bike. No, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Right.
So I'm like stunned. The story, end the story.
You're still stunned.
I get another bike. It's
all coming back
shittier
to-
version. The last bike I ever had in my life. I never BMX.
So that's what turned this motherfucker turned you off bikes.
No,
'Cause he
I
stole your girl's bike.
no. The girl's bike. This is
This
my
was his
fucking.
first
This is my
real bike.
BMX bike.
Yeah, this was
got
his
stolen.
Schwinn.
I had it for like 6 months. Pigeon.
I see what you tried to do there.
Yeah, who cares if he stole my girl bike? I'd be like, whatever.
Right.
That
Now,
was it?
Yeah, I get.
Turned off bikes from then?
No, I still had a bike, but it just wasn't the same. I didn't have a cool bike anymore. 'Cause you
Well-
couldn't, I can't get another fucking cool bike. We spent all this money on this fucking bike.
That sucks.
I'll turn this all around with a nice lighthearted tale. I told Murray about it. I was riding my bike, which was made by some douchebag Casey that I told Murray about off mic. Handmade BMX bike. I was 8, 9 years old, and I had like my elementary school girlfriend who lived down the street from me. So there's
He's
little Griff.
always talking about his girlfriend this, girlfriend that. He's just
I can't help it. When Murray, now that I got my hair cut, it's like I gotta take it easy. I gotta fucking wear myself down again. But yeah, I'm riding down the street to go to my elementary school girlfriend's house. I'm all cool with my BMX bike. No labels on it or anything. It's not a Schwinn. It's not a Mongoose. It was
Not a Murray?
It's a Casey.
It was a handmade by Casey, who anyways. So I'm getting there. My lady friend Margaret and her friends are sitting out on the porch, and her mom was a lesbian, so that was my first experience with lesbians. Was her mom being like, "Graham, what's up?" Had the mullet and everything. She was like, "What are you gonna do when you're 18? Buy scratch offs." That was my answer to what are you gonna do when you're 18. I told her buy scratch offs, and that woman was just like, "This kid is the
I
best."
just won $5 on a scratch off.
Did you?
Somebody gave it to me for my birthday.
That's a $50 scratchy right behind us.
Whoa.
I'm just holding on to it as a trophy.
Rainy day. Fun.
Rainy day fun. So I'm two
Use
houses.
that $50 scratcher to buy Murray a new bike.
Oh, we're gonna buy him a BMX.
Oh man, we should
Costs
do
more
we
than
should
that.
do a Golan-Globus listener fund.
Yes,
Let's get Murray a bike.
we're gonna get him a new Schwinn.
Please. If we ever asked our listeners for money, then they would
Yeah,
disappear.
we'll set
There's
up
no
a
Patreon going on here.
we'll set up a little ramp for Murray to go over and everything.
Oh, we used to do that. We had
Yeah.
there was like we'll get to the finish your story, and then we're gonna get
Two-
to his BMX.
I'm
story.
2 houses down. I'm flying. I got my handbrakes ready. I'm going to do a nice fucking, the turn brake slide thing. I'm going to look badass because I'm John Claude fanatic at this time. Hard target. I want to do that fucking brake turn thing. I want
Hard
to.
Target is where you go.
Well, of course it is.
Hard Target was a bum out for me because he always looked like cool, and then all of a sudden it was mullets. Oh yeah, who am I talking
Wow! Wow, you shit on the Okay. I'm 2 houses down. I'm getting ready to do my fucking. My front wheel falls off, and I just go flying. Skid my face across the ground. It's no wonder that I'm missing front teeth. Well, they're obviously there now because of thousands of dollars worth of surgery and, implants and all that shit. But yeah.
So basically, Pigeon, our BMX paths were very
Choppy.
rough. So
Yeah.
we were hesitant about this movie.
about? That's fair.
So what was it about this movie that you? 'Cause by the way, Pigeon, bicycle fanatic.
Oh, yeah.
How many miles a day do you?
Like 20.
20 miles a
20.
day.
I was gonna bike here, jamming the rad soundtrack.
There you go. You
I
could.
didn't want to keep you guys waiting.
You used to ride your bike from Ann Arbor or Redford to Ann Arbor, didn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
That's
That
a
is
long way, people.
That's a 35-minute ride by car.
Adjusted for inflation,
Yeah, and
65.
I just
There we
play
go.
Thunder in Your Heart and Send Me an Angel on repeat.
When did you first come to see this movie?
I mean, it had to be when it was on TV in the late 80s. I know.
Was it one of those movies like
Yeah.
they was played all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just played all the time.
Yeah.
And I loved all of it. My brothers were into BMX. We lived in like a subdivision that was kind of like enclosed, like an apartment, like condo complex. And it kind of had basically like one large loop around the whole neighborhood. So everybody was into like racing their bikes through the neighborhood and building ramps and, doing all that jazz. So
You do the
this was
thing where
like-
kids lie down, you ran,
Oh,
you
yeah.
jumped over.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
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 No.
So I was all about it. So this was, this was the underdog story. It's called Rad.
Yeah.
It's got a sweet soundtrack.
When I
Original working title, Balls Out.
But
I'm not making a joke. That's actually true.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they were like,
I didn't do so I've obviously been on the show before and I've rewatched some childhood classics. and no, nothing could change my opinion of Delta Force or Iron Eagle. It's still awesome.
Yeah, there's some eye
This
openers
one
here.
I struggled with just a little bit.
Really?
I mean, I still love it.
The quality, or just there's things that you didn't remember. That 'cause there's some things here that I have questions. I'm questionable.
I mean,
are our heroes really a hero?
Yeah, like there were some things I noticed that perhaps I had some crew-colored glasses on.
There we
first
go.
Around.
I like what you did
and
there.
This time around, I was like,
I don't know if this is the hero we should be looking up to.
Right?
Maybe
Yeah,
he's an anti-hero.
he really is. He's supposed to be a shined up baby face, but he is kind of more of a tweener.
Maybe Snake Plissken lost his eye in a BMX accident and
Oh.
became Snake Plissken.
Oh, did he grow up in Alberta?
I did want to be a paper boy because of this movie, though.
Oh my God, I
Back
don't.
in the day when that was a kid's job, and
Oh,
now it's like
man.
an adult's job. Yeah. Well, if anyone even gets papers.
I was
anymore.
gonna say, it's like, is that because I had a paper route?
When I was watching it, I was like, yeah, this is like, it's weird that would, like, certainly the clothes and the haircuts would be dated at some point, but I didn't expect Paperboy to be
Yeah, some of the
like
jobs
this thing
even.
where like some kid's gonna watch this movie and be like, what the fuck is that?
What is going on here? He's throwing papers to people. He's a teenager's waking up at 5 a.m. to deliver newspapers. What the?
What
fuck?
is a newspaper?
What is a
He gets to
newspaper?
shred the neighborhood, man.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing it.
When do we know when the Nintendo game Paperboy? I think it might have been an arcade game first because this had such strong Paperboy vibes to it. The video
Maybe
game.
it's
My bike
inspired.
shop actually has a Paperboy arcade game.
Yeah, doesn't it have like 2 giant wheels or
Yeah.
something? Yeah. So I just was watching it, amazed by that because he's hitting the
Handlebars
jumps.
or something.
Yeah.
I think it's handlebars.
Oh, handlebars. Yeah, that makes more sense. But it's fucking cool, and I feel like Nintendo came out in '86 or '87,
Yeah,
and
something like
Paperboy came out after. So it's like,
The opening credit, like bike tricks that were happening, not as sweet as I remember.
Yeah, maybe for 40 years
There
ago,
was
this
a
was
lot
impressive.
Of just, like, let me bounce on the front wheel.
well, guys, if you will direct your attention over to the laptop here, just so we can educate our audience, I was like, I need to know what these tricks are called. So
Were you
they.
practicing in the front yard.
Of course, I got my BMX bike. I'm actually sitting on my BMX bike while we're doing this.
Personally, I don't own a bike, but
Yeah.
heard that
So
story.
the tricks that we see in the opening and ending credits, and then throughout the movie, we have a I don't even know how to
you
explain
get.
this, Murray.
Let's just put it this way: if you're into bikes, you get your bike tricks in this movie. There's a shitload of bike trick scenes.
Yeah.
By the way, this was directed by Hal Needham
Yes.
of Smokey and the Bandit fame,
Yes.
and also one of our favorites, Megaforce.
Yes.
Check out that episode.
He got the spandex right in this movie.
He did.
He got some interesting outfits. But I want to get everybody educated on all of our biking tricks for when you go watch this movie. These are balance and flatland tricks. You've got the cyclone, and you got a guy standing on one side of a peg. The gyrator, same kind of situation. The hitchhiker, that's pretty cool. No-hander balance. We see Lori Loughlin do that one.
Ex-con Lori Loughlin. Yeah.
X-Con. The whiplash, I can imagine what that one is. Oh, it looks like some of these are grayed out for some reason.
I remember the wheelie.
Hang 5.
Too dangerous. That's why they're grayed out.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
That's it.
Hang nothing. His feet are just off him. Pedal.
Is
hang
that
5.
real? Is that,
that really
is that
a
a
trick?
trick? Yeah.
Just not pedaling a trick.
It looks like he's on his front wheel, and
Oh, okay.
he's got his
Well, that's
legs
a little
spread out
difficult,
there.
yeah.
We got a manual, which just looks like a wheelie. A manual 180. These are supposed to be videos, so we're not seeing like the full thing. Manual 360, 1-foot manual, peg manual, peg manual
Lot of
again,
pegging.
backwards manual, X up manual. We're already almost through the page, guys. Don't worry. Nose manual. A lot of manual in this. More manual.
I like the Vader nose manual.
Vader
Yeah,
nose
very-
manual, a G-turn, spinning steamroller. We see a lot of spinning steamrollers. Just so if we're throwing this about, you just know this
Yeah.
is of the biking vernacular,
Yeah,
you
we
know?
won't be using any of it in the review. But
If we can
I've already
remember
forgotten.
any of these tricks, the manual Vader.
wheelie,
you
I
know?
remember.
Wheelie, you remember?
Yeah.
Bunny
Hopping a
hop.
wheelie.
Bunny hop.
Tabletop. They do a couple tabletops in there.
I see a tabletop.
Which I
I
always
saw
thought was
one.
cool, but I figured it was going to be like one of those things like where you see those videos of people running into the balance beams, gymnastics, and like
Yeah.
crushing themselves. That would have been me doing a tabletop.
Oh my God, yeah. I
Yeah,
was just,
so-
I was always around older kids, so I was, lay down, I'm going to bunny hop over you. That was me.
I had older brothers.
Oh, yeah.
I was also a speed bump.
Speed bump.
But yeah, but 40 years ago, this shit was mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I also want to point out, I didn't think Hell Track was that hellish of a track, to be honest with you, either.
No, I mean,
But 40
Pigeon is
years
wearing
ago-
his Hell Track T-shirt today, so, you know.
Bought for me by Mike Mullins.
That's right.
It all comes back to Mike.
It
And
all
he'll
comes
be
back
also
to Mike.
he'll get another reference later on in this review. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I gotta admit when we brought it up, by the way, Rad. He didn't force it on us. I
No.
was like, we wanted to get him back on, so I'm like, Rad. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
I jumped on it the second you said
Yeah,
it
you
to me,
did.
though.
He did
Yeah.
immediately. He never.
You were blown away by the fact that I owned it, which I'm like, why wouldn't I own this movie?
Yeah, I didn't know he
This
was.
my
I
entire-
didn't know it was on DVD.
My entire personality
But then-
is built around Rad and 2 minutes of just one of the guys.
Look for that in the future.
Oh, man.
By the way, I want to point out that Mike Mullins thankfully had it on his Plex like he always does. Always bails us out.
I love
and
that
he
you
also had
do-
to let me know he got it from the, in his words, the fairly priced vinegar syndrome. I think he maybe got ripped off a little.
Maybe,
but,
yeah, maybe.
unless he got like.
I just love that every week you're like, where do I find this movie? And I'm like, did you check Mike's Plex yet?
Of course I didn't. I don't
You
check
al-
anything. It's your job.
I was like, you're driving down to Cincinnati or something. You're like, hey, where's this movie? And I'm like, fucking check Mike's Plex first, always. And then like 2 days later, you're like, oh, Pigeon's got the DVD, no big deal. 5 minutes after that, oh, it's on Mike's Plex. It's like, yeah, every movie's on Mike's Plex.
I didn't check. I said, Mike, check your Plex. Do you have
You-
it? And then he went, yeah, it's on my Plex. And I'm like, oh, all right, it's on his Plex.
Mike doesn't even check his Plex. He checks his Excel spreadsheets, and he's
Right.
just like, hold on, enhance, and cell D74. All right, whiplash right into your live stream, Murray. Here it is.
All
That,
right.
see, that was a biking term. I used that right out of there.
Well, like I said, I wasn't, I was kind of hesitant about this. I was like, we're going to have a good time no matter what. We always have a good time together.
Yeah, the way you were texting me.
And then when I was like, if you listen to this show, you know I got a thing for super trashy, big-haired 80s girls, and this movie was full of them. So I was all in. I'm Team Bart. Fuck Crew. I
Yeah.
want to be hanging with the twins and Bart. Right. Because I just take the sloppy seconds of these guys.
I don't think we have any more for the top half.
We do not.
So we're struggling here. There's a stick in our spokes. Take us to this fucking
Let's get into
trailer.
the trailer. This trailer, it's not just awesome. This trailer's not just what's another
Tubular?
word? Tubular. This trailer is motherfucking rad.
Rad!
His name is Crew.
Ain't good looking.
BMX is his world. Rad is his way of life.
The world would be a lot better off without kids.
We're here for the biggest and most important bicycle motocross event ever held, Hell Track. This is a very important race. The very finest riders in the country are here, riding for some $100,000.
Hell Track in this here town. They've got to be kidding. This is a joke.
I really think I can get this one. I think I've got a chance.
I don't want to hear any more about it.
Everyone's on his case.
Get that. The paperboy thinks he's a pro.
He's nothing next to Bert Taylor.
He's got the style,
There's something about the way you ride so naturally.
and he's going to prove it.
I've never seen such raw determination and talent in one kid.
Against the factory hotshots.
Looks like the local yokel's gonna race after all.
It's gonna take a miracle to beat this guy.
Against the big money fixers.
All you have to do is take out that kid.
Against impossible odds.
You scared now?
This guy doesn't even stand a chance.
Yeah.
He's going for it all. Rad.
Welcome back. Great. I don't know what song they used for the trailer.
There's so many great 80s songs in
Yeah.
this movie.
Great soundtrack. You were listening to it on the way over here.
I was.
You got through 2 songs.
No, I got through more than that. I skipped the Riverside. Wasn't really into that one.
Now,
Had to jump from Break the Ice to Thunder in Your Heart. Then
Okay.
to Send Me an Angel.
Right.
That's what
By the way, I think Thunder in Your Heart is what we opened with.
Probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd guess that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to know though. There is a big fucking storyline and the big romantic thing to do. Is this how you won your wifey over? Did you go ass sliding with her?
Oh my god! Well, I was like,
Yeah.
did they just like?
Yeah.
That was a note. I was like,
I had to look up that script.
Crew actually said, "Oh, where's the note? All right." God, what I wouldn't give to go ass sliding with you to Lori Loughlin's face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Laura Loughlin.
Haven't we all
yeah, Lori
always
Loughlin.
dreamed of saying that to Lori Loughlin?
Oh
I think
my God.
somebody in jail said that to her.
By the way, in that
It has a totally different meaning in jail, by the way.
Lori in that fucking mongoose outfit. What the fuck?
There were some hot 80s babes.
Yeah, he's like, Lori Loughlin's got nothing on Foxy.
Foxy. Oh, my God. We'll get into Foxy later. But we start out.
I'm all about Wesley.
Whoa. Okay, not Peppermint Patty, Wesley, the 10-year-old.
Isn't that her name?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's her name.
Wait,
the 10-year-old is
The
Wesley.
sister?
The
Yeah.
little
Oh
sister.
shit! I didn't mean that.
No, Peppermint Patty doesn't have a
Peppermint
name.
Patty.
Yeah, she doesn't have a
Okay.
name. By
yeah,
the way,
Wesley's a little sister.
Yeah, let's
in kindergarten.
strike that.
Yep, striking. Yeah, stricken from the record, everybody. Erase your minds. Murray.
we start out because this is a movie about BMXing. By the way, BMX, bicycle motocross is what it stands for.
I don't know.
Where is the motor in
It's
bicycle?
your legs, man.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I think about that every time I see some. Nothing drives me crazier than biking with e-bikes now. And it's like if you're an old ass man trying to get out there and like prolong your life, have at it with the e-bike. But if you're just some fat jackass that's like out there cruising Heinz,
Yeah.
pisses me off.
I want to
Heinz,
give you
beautiful road.
credit for, even though you are a bicycle fanatic, you don't go all out. You're not wearing the Lance.
I do not have
Yeah.
I do
What's
not
that
have a
guy's name? Lance
sponsorship.
Armstrong. Lance Armstrong
Armstrong.
fucking outfit. Like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
that?
Nope.
What is up with it? I just want to run people over when I see
Nope,
that.
I wear my
like,
Hell Track t-shirt and a pair of shorts.
Yeah, as
I-
you should, as a normal human being. What is up with like white people? It's like I have to have a uniform for what I'm doing.
I know. I get
Yeah.
a little annoyed by that because it does make it seem like, no, to get involved in this hobby, you have to actually spend money. It's like me in tennis. I look like a fucking scrub. I hate the sun on me, so I wear a fucking flannel when I play tennis. I used to play in my fucking boat shoes and shit. Like, fucking enjoy your hobby.
Well, one
Don't
of the
fucking spend
themes
for
of this
it.
movie, the classic '80s theme, slobs versus snobs.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
and we're slobs, all right. We're proud of that.
that's
'Cause
right.
we got hearts. We don't need all that shit.
We got Pontiac and Redford boys, and I forget. I know you spent
I'm
some
not
time in
telling
Redford.
people where I'm live now that you
I'm not
guys
asking you where
said
you
the
live.
British
I'm not
cigarette
asking
word.
where you are living now. That was a pitch to where you grew up.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
Cockburn.
I can't say that because then I'd look like a snob if I said where I grew up.
Oh, okay.
I grew up on the worst side of a very affluent neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His dad was a cop, people.
That's right.
But when I was born, they got to move out of the city.
Yeah.
So I was born in Detroit, but then moved into the suburbs because they were like, get us the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to have you back for Beverly Hills Cop. You have a story about that. I haven't seen that movie since it came out. So
I've never seen it
The
full
fourth
through.
one's coming out soon, so we'll have
Yeah, we don't need that. I don't
Yeah.
know why we were doing that.
Yeah.
But
to make up for 3.
I never even saw it, and I don't plan on seeing
2
4.
was good?
I don't really. 2 had
Brigitte Nielsen.
Yeah. When she was like hot.
Yeah.
Because I remember though, that's how they get the captain. She's like pulled over on the side of the road.
Spoiler.
I think I might have caught the opening of that or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that. She
But
has
no.
really short hair, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the
Which is
opening
again
of that.
goes back to just one of the guys for me.
Oh my god.
Joyce Heiser really did a number on me.
You just want a girl to take like a wig off and reveal that she has like some
Yeah.
Reveal
super.
those cans.
You
Yeah.
want to think you're having sex with a man and then be surprised that it's a woman.
Yeah.
There's probably some word for that.
This
some
is
kink,
some
you know.
kind of subterfuge cop in a field type episode because we're learning so much about pitching today.
That's the point of this show.
Is it?
Really
It's
breaks
Yes.
it
supposed to
down.
be the point of cop in a field, not
Well,
a
yes,
main
but I'm
show.
just saying is we're the only show that's a balls. Most people are star fuckers. Like, I got to get a star on my show. we let the listeners. Well, he doesn't listen, but we let the listeners.
I only listen to my episodes.
Yeah, as you should.
Really
And he-
bump those numbers.
He actually does request, only pigeon. He requests, can you just cut out yours and Murray's mic and then it's just me and silence? So I do it for him because I love my friends.
You send him his own cut.
I love my friends, so I of course do that for him.
All right, so this is a movie about biking, so we got to start with some fucking. Are they
Fucking?
Are they gleaming the cube? What? By the way, what is gleaming the cube?
Oh shit! That was one of the things I saw. Oh no, we just did our
That's
research.
skateboarding, though. But I still to this day don't know
that's what it
how
was.
you gleam your cube.
What
what the cube is and how you gleam it.
Right.
You're not familiar with that movie?
No.
The Christian Slater movie from the 80s.
Yes.
Gleaming the cube.
When I was IMDbing this, I was gonna be like, "Hey guys, you know, if you had enough biking or extreme sports fun, gleaming the cube and
Thrashing.
flat, yeah,
The young Josh Brolin.
inline skating movies, you know."
That would have been early 90s, right?
It probably
Wasn't
was
that
in early
past
'90s, yeah.
Golan-Globus's wheelhouse.
No, we'll get into we do early '90s.
We,
John Claude is '90s.
I know.
Yeah, come on.
do what we want. We put,
And Hard Target ruined it.
I just don't know what I'm hearing.
by the way, we got like a 4-hour episode on Hard Target. Look into that.
Yeah.
We had to break that one into 2 parts.
We had to break it into 2 parts. It's that good.
Yeah.
It's that good.
So we get some tricks.
Flatland.
Flat landing, wheelies,
G-turns.
googly
Manuals.
spots,
Cyclones.
cyclones,
Cyclopses.
cyclopies, just to warm us up.
Yeah.
And then we're into the world of Mr. Crew Jones?
Yeah.
Crew Jones. Christopher Crew Jones. Crew, short for cruiser. I don't know if he's cruising. I didn't see any bandanas hanging out of those back pockets.
The bandana's wrapped around the legs so it doesn't get
Caught in
wrapped
the
up
bike
the
chain.
train.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
You
he
see him
is
pull it down,
so he is
pull it up.
cruising.
Yeah.
I was actually going to wear one today just to
I wish you
really
would have,
sell
yeah.
the thing.
People don't know that Cochrane, blah, 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 whatever state this is, hotbed for gay sex.
Oh, yeah. Cochrane,
Yeah.
Calgary, Alberta.
Half the population of this city is either lesbian or gay.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to meet a character, Sergeant Slaughter, who clearly was evacuated from his position in New York during the cruising era.
This is before Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Exactly. He was caught cruising the bars.
He's not even a cop, Griff. He lives cop night. Remember in cruising there was cop night?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Constantly whistles.
This guy just came in his costume. He was chased out of town in his fucking
Yeah, he
cop
has no
night.
authority at all. Sergeant Slaughter.
All he's here to do is make sure the kids grow up right. Like, he is the most amazing cop because he's just like,
You notice we had all this gay talk and we didn't use that vile word that Pete Wentz
Not
used
once.
so glibly.
I'm glad you brought us back to canceling Pete Wentz.
Right. Who I'm
You know
sure
what?
shamed a lot of people. in
I'm
his
going to go
life.
ahead and use a strong F word on Pete Wentz. Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's a strong F word for you.
Bass players.
I like that you just pushed the mic away. Why did you do that?
I'm worried.
Don't push the mic away. Keep
I
it
pushed the
close.
mic away. I'm pulling it.
Do you
want
want to give a test like I don't condone whatever said on this?
I'm worried about. Like,
I think that's well.
heavy
I
breathing.
have to be because Murray Phil says he could barely hear your guess this week, and it comes
Yeah.
out on me.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about that. Keep it right on there. Deep throat that.
All right.
That's exactly. Stay that
Okay.
way.
Yeah. If you need to breathe, you could just this far away. That's all you gotta
He's
do.
gonna do the chocolate rain. He's gonna.
Chocolate rain. God
Yeah.
damn it! What are we doing?
Well, I don't know what we're doing, but Crew, like every good kid, has a job because his mom's single parent household. Mom is struggling.
That's right.
Lord knows what she does for a living.
Did we all have jobs before we were 16, 17?
No,
No,
I didn't.
I was lazy.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
You did? What the fuck? I'm the only person here who had
Yeah,
a
I
job
didn't-
at like 14.
Yeah, I didn't have a work ethic.
God damn. No wonder why I'm the engineer
What was
of
your
this show.
first job?
I was doing scorekeeping at softball games.
Gay.
Well,
Well, that was Pete Wentz, by the way, said that.
I did go into the bathrooms to make sure the jock straps fit right.
Such a reaction to softball games.
Yeah, my dad was a
That's
umpire.
the only thing soft.
And so it was a very easy position for me to
All
get
right, that's
into.
cool.
And so I did scorekeeping. And by
You got
that,
paid for that?
huh?
You got paid for that?
Yeah, I got fucking like $18 a game. And the games were an hour. I was making $18 an hour at 14
This
years
is
old.
where he gets his entitled attitude.
Yeah.
You're in my hobo shack right now. He's entitled.
Millennials.
There's fucking holes all over this place. He's entitled.
Enough about you. Let's talk about
The
Crew.
door just blew open.
Crew is delivering papers with his buddy Luke, who I learned his name halfway through the movie.
Yes.
By the way, if you're doing notes, horrible movie. Nobody is
Yes.
called by a name until the end of the movie. I'm like, oh, that's his name.
It legitimately looks, rewatching this, I was like, it looks like no one on the film got along for like the first half an hour.
Yeah.
And then they finally started to ease up.
Gel.
It looked like everyone was having fun.
I think you're
But-
right. Yeah.
I mean, it's still like, I enjoy the first 20 minutes.
no.
Right.
This movie.
I agree. It was a very difficult movie to take notes because I like didn't even start until halfway through.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this movie. I've seen it 100 times.
Right. The first.
I know
like,
their paper route. I knew
when-
he was going to jump over that car.
when I got through the
He's
20.
not going to make it.
When I got through 20 minutes of the movie, I was like, this is going to be the easiest notes ever. There's no names. There's no characters. There's no plot. There's
Yeah,
no
you
nothing.
guys still managed 4 pages of notes.
There's
we
a
doing?
reason why these episodes go 3
What are
hours.
we doing?
6-hour episode on Rad.
We know exactly what we're doing with our show these days, and so yes, there's 4 pages, and we'll get through the first page sometime in the next
First
year.
paragraph,
Yeah.
first page. So he's doing his paper out with his buddy Luke and their questionable sexuality friend
This looks-
Peppermint Patty, because
I
as far as I know, she never got a name.
I legitimately thought Peppermint Patty was a guy.
We
and
all
I was
do.
really struggling because
Yeah.
I was like, and I was really hoping for a just one of the guys reveal.
Yeah.
Well, this is PG.
Oh, I don't remember this part where she addresses
This
at a
was-
locker
this was
room.
cut out of the TV version.
Right.
So we're seeing Crew go, and he's sloppy as shit. He's like a young Griff. He's just throwing the paper every. Guy's like, porch! I told you porch. He's just throwing it in the fucking flower
Right.
pot or some
Right.
shit.
Exactly.
We get a cameo from Millie, the fucking action dog. She's yanking some paper out of his hand.
She's waiting patiently in the backyard, which of course is not what my dog does at all. She has barked at Pigeon so many times today. We've probably actually cut this podcast 9 times just because she barked for him shifting in his chair.
By the way, Crew, 18-year-old character, looks 35. But that's the way we looked in the 80s. Because everyone smoked.
Yeah, when they did it off camera for this movie, so we didn't see him smoking.
He almost gets run over by a woman driver, of course, because she's not paying attention. She's doing her makeup.
She doesn't even. He lands on the car and she doesn't even notice.
Yeah. You would notice that, but yeah, she doesn't because she's got 2 rugrats complaining in the back. I'm going to tell your dad maybe if he ever returns home.
A lot of broken homes in this.
This town.
Calgary is the town.
No, it's Cochrane. It was filmed in Calgary.
Yeah, Cochrane is the town of single women. Every woman here is raising
Well, because
a child
every
by
man's
themselves.
gay in this town, apparently. So it's a safe place to raise a family.
When people talk
No sexual
about
predator.
progressive 80s movies, I don't see Rad come up, and Rad really should start coming up.
Right.
I mean, our friend...
This podcast is going to change it.
It should.
Yeah.
But Peppermint Patty, just like you said, we're introduced to that character, gravelly as fuck voice. We're all thinking like, oh, just like the curly kid
You're
from
holding
Stranger
my hand,
Things.
Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
legitimately was like, oh, it's a long-haired younger brother of one of the
Yeah.
characters who smokes about a pack of Camels a day.
I thought they were gonna talk about metal bands and shit.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Poison.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Well, he is a Motley Crue, if you will, getting back to Crew. So he's throwing a guy in a boat, fire truck, stops at the 7-Eleven, fucks with old man Timmer.
See, I brought up the 7-Eleven because it's like 7-Eleven get its own delivery of newspapers, but he delivers a
7-Eleven
newspaper.
was obviously a product placement because it gets shown a lot in this movie.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Old man Timmer, who is this is the one consensus we had about this movie. This is our buddy Mike Mullins in 30 years.
Yeah.
He's already got the hat.
He's got the hat. He's got the Pee Wee bicycle, and every morning he picks up a cheese pizza calzone.
Right.
Every morning with chocolate milk. Special ordered from Michigan because he gets a local dairy farm.
So there you have it, Mike. You were projecting. This is not future Pigeon.
No.
This is
Sorry,
you.
Mike. We love you.
Which,
We
by the
love
way,
this character.
there was a future pigeon we know in real life, which I wonder about sometimes.
I think that when I switched up relationships, he
dissolved.
He got
just
wiped out of existence because that's where I was headed if I had stayed in the situation I was in. But
Yes.
because I didn't, voila,
We
future
had
pigeon is gone.
We had an hour discussion about
Yes.
pigeon's marriage to a female bodybuilder.
We did.
We're gonna leave it right there. You're not even. No, you're not gonna learn
That
anything
is
about
a
it.
teaser. If you guys want that, you have to comment on shit. Comment on YouTube. Comment on Twitter, and maybe we'll do a cop and a pidge where we actually get into pigeons pre-life.
Yeah, he's led a very interesting life, to say the least.
That's right.
But not as interesting as Crew Jones. What's his name?
Jones.
Jones. Crew Jones.
Yeah, Jones.
And then he does this sick ass move. There's a rad move, if you will. There's a truck, a garbage truck picking up like a dumpster.
Right, and he's waiting for Rad. He's like,
because everybody knows this is his schedule.
Right.
He's trying to beat the clock. I don't know why.
Because he's preparing for Hell Track.
Yeah. This is some murder.
Even though it's not timed at all.
I was about to say, I don't even think they know that they can be part of Hell Track until there's a town meeting.
They don't.
No.
Way there's
In the scene, he barges through a picket fence.
Yeah.
Does the move that you couldn't do on your janky ass bike, and looks and it says Hell Track brought to you by 7-Eleven right on the picket
That's why.
fence.
Yeah. He did. Well, Pigeon wouldn't know this, but the new thing in wrestling is when WrestleMania is coming up, you point to the WrestleMania sign in the rafters. That's what Crew did here. He plowed through the picket fence, it closed back behind him, and he pointed it at it. So we knew he's going to participate in Hell Track.
But the garbage truck's waiting for him.
Yep. He does a sweet trick, balances a peg on it, puts his butt on the top of it, and the fucking dumpster guy's so cool with Crew, he lifts it up so he can jump over a little picket fence.
And he points at that Hell Track.
That's right.
Someday. But not today because he's 5 minutes late on his time. Because apparently they timed this. I don't know. They didn't do it when Hell Track happened.
What we're talking about is his last paper delivery to Mrs. What's-Her-Face. She gets a name later in the movie. She actually does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Duke is struggling to identify this woman, and so Elliot whispers in his ear, "Oh, that's Mrs.
What's-Her-Face.
Brownie." And so we do know her name eventually, but she looks up at the town clock, and he's like, well, someday I'm not only going to be 5 minutes early, I'm going to be 10 minutes early.
But not today.
But not today.
So he goes to school. Who needs school when you're fucking rad?
Especially when you have the kind of fliff a newspaper route brings in.
We get the classic, and this is an accurate portrayal of the 80s, because they probably just got local kids from fucking Calgary to be in this scene.
1,000%.
So you see the fashions, if you can call them that. You get to see the butt grabs.
Oh, yeah, there is a total butt grab
Grabbing of the
pinch in
cakes.
there, and then there's like, oh, it was you, but they got the mistaken. Yeah.
We see the cliques. Were there cliques in your school, your high school? They did the jocks and the preps and the stoners.
No, I mean, it was too small.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't have cliques. I mean, I think that's made up for the fucking movies.
I mean, I don't know. Like, mine's a weird, like, I mean, there were only like 40 kids in my graduating class.
Jesus.
The fuck did you go to school?
I went to a private school.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. We forgot. He's
You
rich.
guys are ruining my cred. God damn it.
We're just ruining his cred, yeah. We could talk about this all day. There was kind of cliques in my school. It was only
It was just race war with me. Blacks versus whites.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
but your generation, I assume, is more cool with everybody. Right. Which is
everybody.
normal.
You know what brought them together? Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Everybody loved that.
Oh my God, the bonding over anime in my high school days was real for sure. But the only people that were dicks to everybody, there was like a jock group. Even though I was a jock because I was a letter grade athlete in my first year, I didn't identify. Yeah, I was a tennis champion. Look, if you're gonna bring it out,
he's always a champion.
I gotta.
I have no documented proof, but it's always a champion.
My mom's got my gold medals. She wanted to hold on to them. She wanted to remember when her boy was a fucking star. I have been downhill since high school.
Yeah, she's not listening to the show.
No, she always asked me, "Do you still do that show or whatever with Murphy?" And I'm like, "It's Murray, Mom. He's my best friend, and
You
we have
don't
the same
understand my
birthday."
So the BMXers, the preps don't like them because it's
course
snob versus slobs.
What are the preppers dressed as? How do they dress, rather?
I don't remember. Did they have like a sweater wrapped around their neck kind of
They
thing?
had the sweater vibe going on. He was rattling off a bunch of colleges he got into.
That's
and then,
right.
So then they bunny hopped over him.
Yeah. Juvenile asshole.
Crew, he doesn't have no time for studies because he's all about Katie, this mysterious babe, Katie.
I kind of like how they played this up, though, with Katie and how he's chasing her so hard. Did you like Katie's hair?
She was too much of a bitch for me.
She had fucking...
She did have some sweet 80s hair, but...
Okay, you did like the hair. That's what
She was all right.
Yeah.
She was no Foxy, which we'll get into later on. All right, so we're setting up. They're in school. So now we go to Duke Best, owner of Mongoose, a real fucking company. I like that. They didn't make up some bull like Best Bikes. It was Mongoose. And he has come to this podunk town of Cochrane. He is wheeling and dealing. He's fucking putting stars in their eyes.
Right.
He's going to build a monorail. It's that fucking serious. Hell track.
I like that you brought monorail to it because he sees opportunity. He's going to put a camera in every fucking corner of this whole town. He's going to have all the best BMX bikers here. He's going to build the next wave of BMX biking tracks.
Non-stop job opportunities for your little town.
He sold them like an illich. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
And he left them with nothing but parking lots.
A BMX bike race for $100K. That's like $1 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of money back then. I mean, that's a lot of money now.
Yeah.
And not only that, a Corvette.
A Corvette. It's not a Trans Am.
No, it's not that cool.
Yeah.
It's close. Would you think they would have a Trans Am since the Hal Needham did was smoking the Bandit? You think he'd have to have a Trans Am, but I guess Corvette probably gave them a car. So.
Right. Probably.
So he's just fucking sweet talking the whole city council, and then Mrs. Gray, the responsible. Maybe this was the woman.
This is who
Mrs.
I'm
Gray.
talking about. Yeah, Mrs. Gray.
I have a problem with this. You're gonna have all of these professionals. How about our kids? Why can't our kids have a shot at this?
Right. And so impromptu, Duke Best,
Always thinking on his feet.
always thinking on his feet. He's got his henchman there, Elliot.
Yeah.
And he whispers into his
Looking
ear.
like a Chris Parnell character from SNL, like
Chris Parnell.
doing a Burt Reynolds impression.
If you ever want to know what the coon side of my family looks like, and
By the way, that's their name. That is he
My
did
mom-
not.
I was like, this kind of podcast? All right.
my mom's maiden name is Coon. Everybody. So
Okay.
I grew up with my coon. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. My cousin Ricky
You're happy
actually.
this came up. Now you're not the bad guy.
You're no longer the bad guy. I relieved you. My cousin Ricky actually got coon tattooed across his stomach in like old English.
I hope he never goes to jail.
No.
Oh man.
He's got a lot of explaining.
Yeah, I know, right? But this is my Uncle
That's
Rick.
making quite the assumption on who's going to be in jail with him.
Oh, Murray.
Now you're both in trouble.
No.
We're all going down.
We were-
Cancel.
Can we all just unite in canceling Pete Wentz? All right,
really.
instead of each other. This is what Pete Wentz does.
Is Pete Wentz on Blue Sky? Could we all like get on Blue Sky together to fucking trash Pete Wentz? Let's call him Trash Wentz or something.
Hashtag bury Pete Wentz.
Bury Pete Wentz.
Cancel Pete Wentz.
But what we're talking about is the impromptu. Oh, you know what? No, we're gonna do a race, a qualifying race, $10,000 just to qualify.
right, yeah.
And I think there was something else thrown in there. Maybe it was just a chance to actually race.
Yeah, you get an opportunity to race. Obviously, it's a qualifying, yeah. Which was weird because I thought the qualifying was for the kids, and then Bart is participating in the qualifying.
Everybody
thing.
was, yeah.
It's a strange movie.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're back to our boys. They got a little clubhouse by the lumberyard where they hang out.
Did any of us have a clubhouse?
No, I wasn't cool enough to have a
Yeah.
clubhouse.
I always wanted a treehouse.
We all did.
No
Yeah.
clubhouse.
Everybody wanted a clubhouse. That's where you keep your woods porn at.
Yeah.
That's the porn you find in bushes. And
Well, that's why it's
woods.
called woods porn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, lacking in woods porn, not an authentic boys' clubhouse.
It's true.
But maybe that's because we just learned here that our tomboy or tom girl is actually a tomboy. Is that how that works? I don't know.
All I know is they're enjoying a nice. Where, do they have a refrigerator here? Where are they keeping this milk?
Oh, good
Because they're
question.
having a nice bowl of Kix cereal.
Yeah.
That'll come back later.
I didn't realize that was going to come back later. And when I did realize it, I was like, aha.
Kids like Kix for what Kix has got. Moms like Kix for what Kix has not.
That's big corn talking
That
to
was their
America.
slogan.
Yeah,
Like
I
in the
remember that
80s.
slogan.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a mouthful, and only
And-
Murray could do it.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Talented.
Instead of some fucking sweet ass hustlers, they're looking at BMX bikes. And they're like, Bart Taylor. If only I could be like Bart.
I hate that it was Luke, who is clearly a male friend. He's the one with the trifold, like, oh my God, Bart. He's not so tough, but man, I would like to tussle with him in the sheets.
For the rest of the episode, I want to refer to Bart Taylor as Dollar Store William Zabka.
William Zabka.
Played by Olympic hero
Oh,
Bart Connors, who beat the Russians in 1984. Got 2 gold medals.
well, now I feel like an asshole.
Well, you
American
are.
hero. How did you miss
We
that?
went crazy apparently for our male gymnastics in the 80s because
Right.
remember there's the guy from Gymkhana. Sorry, I don't remember his name. And there was Mitch Gaylord, of course. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to Pete Wentz you. That's his name. All right.
The blonde dude from, nope, he wasn't a gymnast. He was a ballet dancer. The guy in Die Hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He wasn't even American. The fuck? We're talking about American heroes here.
Oh, okay,
He was a commie. He was like a
I forgot
Russian.
what show I'm on.
We love America here.
That's right.
So they're preparing for Hell Track. They're like, man, if I could get into Hell Track, my whole life would change. I could leave this shithole town,
And that's
move
when,
up to like Duluth. So I'm
That's-
like, no. Hey, Duluth next to Cochrane. That's
yeah,
big
right.
league.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. I mean, that
Yeah.
Duluth's America, isn't it?
Yes,
Just
Minnesota.
because the film was shot in Canada did
Yeah.
not mean it took place in Canada.
Of course it didn't. This is the most American
you know-
story.
you know what?
There's no such thing as rags to riches in
This guy's
Canada.
Too busy doing his research.
What? I'm going to
But
go
again,
for my
I
Lemmy
think
mic
they were
here.
Cochrane is just supposed to be,
A
they could have
stand-in.
named it Anytown America.
Yes, Anytime
Where
USA
they had some kids with their BMX.
with a dream.
and their cut-off sweatshirts.
And a dream.
And their tomboy friend.
You're right.
And Katie giving them the cold shoulder. Mom up their ass about the SATs.
See,
and they
this-
just want to ride their BMX bikes, man.
that
all
was
Eat their kick cereal, not jerk it to woods porn.
Yeah, they're getting their kicks the right way.
Yeah.
we're going to go ahead and just cut that and use that as the opener. And I just saved our audience
I'm
20
still wondering,
minutes.
did he bring milk? Was milk in this?
He brought the school milk with
Okay,
him.
all right.
That was like the little thing you get at school. And
Yeah.
I saw that it was 2%. So you know these kids aren't getting fat on that milk. No hormones injected into this milk.
No.
But just as they're having all their fun talking about, yeah, you know what? This Bart guy's not all that cool after all. Whoop, whoop.
He's not so
the,
rad.
Not the ICP outside. There's no juggalos out here. Just Sergeant
Even though these
Slaughter.
towns are hotbeds for juggalos, though.
Well, yeah, of course there are. The Mountain Dew, not Mountain Dew.
Meth hasn't moved into Cochrane
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah,
No,
the-
there's no opioid.
The moon missed the budget.
We still had hope. You know why? Because we had Hell Track. Once they got rid of Hell Track, that's when all the opioid shits are
No.
happening.
What else were the kids going to do?
Can
They're
I?
like, all the BMX is gone, so it's time for opioids.
I just love that 80s movies constantly revolve Tony Khan booking around a tournament of, some kind of weird
Well, that's
sport.
the 80s revolved around tournaments.
all kinds of
How can you
alternative.
judge yourself unless it's by beating other
Yeah, it's
people?
all about America being number one.
Right. What alternative sports are our kids into today? Are they like playing professional Minecraft, or is it like who can find a
Yes.
dime in the
Right, it's-
first?
it's some
Dude, I got
online
a niece
shit.
that's like on a legit video game club in school. Like it's a class.
Yeah. right?
My God.
I mean,
know.
it's probably cool that these kids are making friends in school and doing that kind of shit. But yeah, of course, we're looking at it. Me and Murray would have been we would have been in leather, fringe. We would have been pushing people over. I would have been the guy.
You would have been in Fringe, Murray. Fringe.
Murray would have been in fringe in
a
high
fringe
school.
fuck, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what pigeon. It sounds like he's not wearing the fringe. So
I would have been the juvenile asshole.
Have you guys learned
I
about
got
the
into
law?
Harvard.
Yeah, he would have went to our school, remember?
Yeah,
He's
he would have,
he's
yeah.
a private school guy.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah.
They didn't make movies about private school kids. We were always the
We would have
we were
only
the villains.
we would have only seen pigeon when we
I was giving you guys wedgies.
oh boy, when we were rival football teams playing, and me and Murray would be selling single cigarettes.
Getting back to our
to this
heroes. They like we broke the case. This is why you listen to us. This guy's not a legitimate cop. He's a cop cosplayer.
Yes, he's straight
He
out.
goes to the Ramrod every fucking other Friday where they have cop night.
We're talking cruising, people. We did it 2 years ago. Go listen to it.
Right. And I think-
Bandana code.
I swear it was under 3 hours.
It
Go
was.
listen to it.
Yeah.
He like whistles them like, all right, Sergeant Slaughter's here. Time to do that thing.
Right.
He just gets off on chasing little boys. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, there's a little girl in this outfit too. So
Yeah, but he has eyes for crew.
Not yet. She's still a little boy.
She identifies
The
as a
turn
little
does not
boy.
happen.
Yeah, the turn really
The
doesn't happen for a
blossoming
while
does not
here.
happen.
Yeah.
So he only has eyes for crew. And so crew, they're like a Maryland, because remember, this movie is just all about BMXing. So we just have a long extended scene, what you can do BMXing. And apparently you can have a hell of a lot of fun at a lumberyard. Because he's just, chase me, you can't catch me.
Right.
Sergeant Slaughter's just loving it, just scampering after the little boy.
I
Going
love
up the fucking pile of fucking logs.
Yeah.
Clearly up a ramp. There's no way you could fucking
I
do
was very
this.
disappointed because that illusion was broken for me when I was like, I thought he was actually doing it when I was a kid.
Yeah, you could see like the ramps they set up for him, everything. The 2x4s laid out, so
I'm
he's
pretty
not
sure that you can meet crew these days on the Comic-Con circuit.
probably.
if
Pretty sure
only.
he's one of those.
See-
no, I think he's one of those dudes that
No,
does
no,
that type of thing.
This is why I don't like Comic-Con anymore. Because
I know.
those are the people who need it. And those are the people I want to meet. I don't give a fuck about, I was fifth lead on an episode of Walking Dead. Get the fuck out of here. Or even worse, the people who are gainfully employed, like on a show, and they're just raking in garbage bags full of fucking money. $100 for my autograph. Fuck you. I think the guy who played Crew needs that money a lot more than you do.
Crew needs his dues. Okay. I thought that was clever.
So he
but
gets
no.
chased by Sergeant
The
Slaughter.
audience loved it.
He gets chased by Sergeant Slaughter, and it's just a little game they play every day.
I love it. He's Sergeant is no selling this, but you can tell that it's like it brings out the child in him. And you know,
He's
since
connecting with the kids.
exactly, since he's had to leave New York where he's a pariah, that's the word I think I'm going for here. You know, a gay in a big city.
That's
Now
when
he's
the
a
gays
ga-
really got rough. In the
Yeah.
big city, go to the small town. That's where they'll accept.
Well,
you.
Murray, as you're about to tell us, like this small town has a big gay night culture.
it has a gaping hole for the gay culture. I'm just saying.
That is a hole big enough for Pete Wentz to fill with his douchebaggery. Jesus.
Yes. So it just ends with him. I'll get you next time, kid. And he winks at him.
Yeah, he jumps over like the small chicken wire fence, and then it's like, ugh.
I got to pick up my sister,
Yeah,
Wesley.
this is where we.
This is where America went wrong, people.
Hold on, Murray. Even before we get to pick up sister, this is the first name drop we get of ass sliding, because Luke says,
Oh,
yeah, me and doesn't get a name, Peppermint Patty, are going ass
You
sliding.
gotta find out Peppermint Patty.
And that's
Yeah,
what,
please
yeah.
This is where I went wrong because I looked up IMDb and I thought Wesley was Peppermint Patty. And
No, you got that wrong.
And we're-
looks like I'm heading off to Epstein.
You're not going to find her. It's just going to be like
Is she Becky?
maybe. I don't
That
know.
might be-
It's
it
just a
might be
silhouette
Becky.
of a head, right? This person never acted ever again.
Probably not.
Nobody
I
in
don't
this
know.
movie ever acted again.
Sometimes when you click on the character, it'll give you a quote from the movie. You might be able to tell it by that. But IMDb is not always that helpful.
So he's there to pick up Wesley. Wesley.
Yeah, that's her. Marta Kober.
Becky.
Becky. Remember that, people.
There we go. Becky.
I think, right?
Peppermint Becky.
Clearly.
Yes, that's her.
Yeah. Clearly, they did not name drop her just because they wanted the audience to be confused by her voice and, you know.
I'm already confused because he's going to pick up his sister, Wesley.
Yeah.
And Wesley, she takes no shit, people. She's basically the enforcer for her brother crew, her older brother crew.
Murray, I believe if you were 8 years old watching this movie, you would have identified with this girl because you take no shit from anybody.
I take no shit for gingers, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, and that's what we're opening up with. A freckled fuck in a Bart... What was his last name?
Taylor.
Bart Taylor, the man shirt.
Yeah, I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you are a ginger man, kill yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ginger
Audience,
women are
please
fine.
don't.
You're all right. Ginger women, you're fine. Ginger men, nobody wants to fuck you. Nobody will love you. Kill yourself.
Audience, don't do
And
that.
Wesley agrees with me because she's like, you bandwagon jumping bitch. It's like whoever's the big name, that's who you're the big fan of. Well, my brother could fucking run rings around this Bart Taylor fuck.
He could manual off this guy's face night and day. That's biking terms, everybody.
He's gonna pop a wheelie all over him.
Murray stuck to the wheelie.
It's the only one I know. Sorry.
Tail whip.
Tail whip.
There we go.
She's ready to fucking throw down with this fucking ginger fuck.
I'm gonna fucking sock you in the mouth. And of course, that's when teacher shows up and to stop him. And she's
Use
like,
your
well,
words, Wesley. Use your words. Fuck that!
I'll let my fist or my feet do the talking. And she starts pummeling this kid with her fucking kicks. Tippy taps.
Crew had to pull her off. He's like, no, don't kill. We have to go to another town because you killed somebody again.
Yeah.
Wesley's that vicious.
Childhood pigeon. Were you like Wesley's cool as shit, or were you like little sisters, even though you were the little brother, maybe? Yeah.
Did you identify with her?
No.
No.
There was no connection to Wesley.
Oh.
Oh, she does get a pretty good swear in the movie.
So you like the
But I was
swearing
like,
and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, but I mean, you know.
I probably just would have liked the swearing too if I was.
So, of course, you're a kid. You're
Yeah.
getting
I
away
was
with
a
something. Every
crew
kid
man.
love getting away with shit.
Yes, exactly.
So Crew arrives. She's like, get this, Crew. This fuckface here thinks Bart Taylor's gonna win Hell Track. I know you're gonna do it.
I'm not even competing in Hell Track, so let's just get out of here.
Comes home. Mom's waiting there with the groceries. Probably bought them with food stamps. That's how rough it is. And perfect casting. When you need some Debbie Downer that's just going to rip your hero's heart out and tell him he has no chance in winning, you get Talia Shire of Rocky, you know her, Adrian, who told Rocky in every single movie, no matter how many times he proved him wrong, you can't win. And she does it again this time.
Did that fuck you up when you finally saw Rocky? Like to know your mom from Rad was...
I didn't realize it, to be totally honest, when I first watched Rocky.
I didn't even realize it when I was watching this. Like I finally went through and it was like, I recognized
sure
her.
As a kid, I got like Talia Shire, Margot Kidder, and the chick from Raiders.
Karen Allen.
Yeah, like I probably mixed and matched those three.
Who, by the way, she will be at Motor City Comic Con, and give her your money. She could use it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. So
as a kid, I just thought everybody was real.
I
was just like, this is a documentary about a kid in a small town, Cochrane, who's about to whoop Bart Taylor's ass.
Right.
Well, he's got to get his mom's signature on the qualifying. He is a minor. He's not 18 yet.
That's right. Good
We
call.
all know how me thinking the movie is real ruined Delta Force for me.
It did. So, she's just like, isn't that the same day your makeup SAT test is? Yeah, Mom.
And she had to bring up the fact that it was the makeup SATs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, you can make it up anytime you want. That's why it's called a makeup SAT. He doesn't
Right.
have to do it this fucking day.
And he
Right.
was supposed to graduate by the look of him like 4 years earlier. So
Yeah.
what's 6 months gonna
Right.
do?
Yeah.
Right.
He's got a job. He's a paperboy.
He's not just a paperboy though. You got to remember this kid actually has 2
Yeah,
jobs.
he's a bus boy too.
That's right.
Any job that's boy at the end.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Best boy.
So he's just like, look, Mom. Yeah, he dropped a look, Mom on her. Dad, if he was here, God rest his soul, told me, follow my gut. And we say that every fucking time on this show.
We do.
You don't use your brain. You use your gut.
Use your goddamn gut.
Gut cares about you. Because your gut's next to your balls. If you got balls, you think with your guts.
When I was looking into this movie, I found so many fucking critics who were like, children don't talk, parents and, they don't talk this way. And I don't know what your experience was like after your mom passed, but when my dad passed, my mom pulled your dad on me constantly. Anytime my mom was like, you're not doing what I want you to do, your dad wouldn't approve of that.
Because it works.
Yeah. Until I was just like, Mom, you're being a fucking asshole, and just stop talking to her for a while. Then.
Well, Crew flipped the script. He used reverse psychology.
Yes, he
did
did.
it on her, and it worked. She had nothing to say.
That's right.
She probably drove that guy to an early death with her fucking nagging.
Murray has made his opinion over Adrian very clear for the years.
Horrible woman. The shit that Rocky gave her, the lifestyle. She's working at a pet store.
Yeah.
And he's just like, she went from the outhouse to the penthouse.
She did.
And all she can say is, all she's worried about is like, he's got to make a living.
Yeah.
To keep her in farting through silk sheets.
Right.
And she's just constantly like, you can't do it. You can't beat Mr. T. You can't beat Apollo Creed. You can't beat Drago.
Right.
And guess what, people? He beat them all.
It was that contention every time. His own wife told me he couldn't do it. That drove him to the top. So
What's your favorite Rocky? The one where she's dead?
Yes.
Which one did she?
Except I wanted to see her die.
Which one? Was she
One of the newer ones.
Like, I wanted to
Okay.
see her dying of cancer. And he's like, you can't win. And then she loses her battle with cancer. So, Crew...
Oh my god.
Crew, he's preparing for Hell Track.
Hell
I want to
Track.
say Hell Fest.
Right on my shirt, man.
Well, I want
It's
to say
right
Hell
there,
Fest
if you
because that's like a heavy metal fest
Yeah,
they have,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
in Europe. And apparently, even though they don't. I don't remember doing a backflip being part of Hell Track, but he's gonna hot dog it. He's like,
It's pretty sweet.
It is sweet. But yeah, we're building up like he's got to learn the big trick.
So they build their own track, the ramps and everything.
Right.
And it's the problem.
This is what kids used to do before Minecraft.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
were building tracks.
You see
ramps.
somebody throwing out a piece of plywood, they're like, I can
Oh,
use
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
There was so many times I
I'm
showed.
either going to build that into a clubhouse where I can jerk it to woods porn, or I'm going to fucking jump it.
Goddamn right. But there was so many times I showed up to like the ballpark with some friends, and it was just like, oh shit, the Bullies are here. Like, let's not even
The
fucking
Murrays.
the Murrays.
The fringe fanatics.
And it wasn't even like we were afraid
That
they were
was
gonna,
my gang's name.
It
the
wasn't
French
even that we were
Fanatics.
afraid they were gonna just like pummel us. It was just like we don't even want to fucking like be around these people because they're so fucking obnoxious. They'll be like, well, we want to play baseball with you, but they wouldn't actually play. Type of shit. Like, let us bat constantly.
Cop on a feel here. This guy's got some trauma from childhood baseball.
Look, we're doing a
He's
fucking.
like, I keep score at softball games. This is a serious game.
I think
I told the heartfelt story. He's trying to one up it, like he always does.
well,
By the way, people, this will be my last episode because apparently a guy named Noah is going to be replacing me. If you want to hear more about Noah, listen to our Escape from New York episode.
I was like, I'd get that reference if I listened to the show.
Exactly.
I made a new best friend because Murray didn't go to Joe Coleman's wrestling match with me.
I had to wash my hair. So, all right, he's got this track set up, but he's pussying out. He's not jumping with his guts
No.
because he's got mattresses.
You're skipping ahead.
No, he's laying out the mattresses, and he's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We come back
my
to
bad.
this. We
You
come
guys
back
are
to this.
professionals. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
Know
It's
my
okay.
place. I'm the guest.
Hey, we do this to each other all the time. Yeah,
See?
don't
No,
push the
get that mic
away.
out of your fucking
In
mouth.
the face. In the mouth. In the mouth.
he's not jumping with his guts because he's got those fucking By the way, where do you find the mattresses? Probably pea stained or
Also the
something.
woods.
Yeah, these are wood mattresses.
Yeah.
There's
hobos are fucking on them.
There's a whole new, like we're gonna find the next oh shit, penicillin growing on these mattresses and shit.
And this is where I'm like, wait, I thought we were in the 80s. Why is he wearing pads? He didn't
Right.
wear pads in the 80s. And is he wearing, is that like an old school hockey helmet he had on? What was that? Yeah.
That look like old,
Yeah.
the cage helmets.
Yeah.
They still make kids wear those. Yeah.
Wesley wouldn't wear one.
Yeah, he would.
She.
Oh no! Oh,
You're thinking Becky
yeah.
before the makeover that happens off screen.
You're right. You're right. Good call.
So he wipes out. He
Constantly.
tries to do the flip.
He can't even do like a rotation at this point, isn't he? Just like going. He's riding up straight, rotating like 5 degrees, and just landing straight on his back.
Because he's fucking riding on mattresses for
So
fuck's
do you
sake.
think he got the gig in the movie because he could ride a bike?
No, because it's total stuntmen doing all
You
this
think
shit.
his?
Yeah.
You-
I know
so
for a
he's an
fact.
actor?
Unlike you, I did some research.
All right.
And
I didn't want to spoil anything about this
movie
man.
was loosely
Sometimes
based.
seeing how the sausage is made ruins it for
Yeah.
me.
There you go.
Well, this is
I want
what-
to believe that Lori Loughlin rode that bike and that it
she
wasn't
did.
a dude in
She
a
did.
wig.
No.
She did.
She did. But
You could tell by her ass.
crew did not, because this movie is loosely based on a real life guy, a BMX star whose mom didn't believe in him. He did all the stunts.
Oh, okay.
And the actor had to dye his hair to match the BMX guy's hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. We got ourselves a Frank Duke situation.
Yes, we do. It's very blood sport.
Yeah. I wish they had the crawl at the end of the movie to explain he had 4,000 knockouts in a 20-hour period.
You know, this guy got the job for his acting ability.
Okay.
So
Okay. There we go.
So he as poor as it is, he did that.
I thought he did all right.
We're doing.
I didn't mind him.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hell Track Parade is in town. This is the biggest thing this podunk town Cochrane has ever seen.
I mean, they don't even get bands to this town. To get the fucking Hell Track in their town, of course it's going to be huge.
Bart Taylor and Rod and Todd, the Tomax
Reynolds.
twins,
Yeah.
the Reynolds twins, are showing up.
And, man, Murray
Rod
had...
and Rex.
Rod and Rex.
Rod
No,
and
I-
Rex.
I'm calling Rod and Todd. It's Ned Flanders' kids' names are Rod and
Oh,
Todd,
okay.
but
Yeah. It's all right.
it was a joke.
Being right.
It didn't. I shouldn't- yeah.
Murray
I
does
wasn't
it-
allowed to watch this.
Murray literally does this every week to me, so you just doing it to him is all the more entertaining for me.
They got their best V costumes. I don't think they're wearing the V costumes now.
Not yet,
but
no.
they're in the front seat together because we'll learn. All twins are fucking creeps and weirds because they have half a soul. They're
Yep.
not real human beings.
Yep.
They share a soul, much like a midget does half a soul because they're half a person. So they're not human beings technically.
Okay.
So they're in the car. Is he driving a Corvette? Was Bart driving the Corvette? I think he was.
I thought he was in the car with them. And
Yes,
then
he was.
gets
He was
out.
driving.
I thought they
Well,
were-
let's not jump ahead because this is where I get interested in the story.
Oh yeah.
Because in the back seat,
He's a little too excited about this. He's forgetting every
we
other
get the
detail.
true stars:
Dreamweaver.
Tiger and Foxy,
Okay.
the hoes of Team Mongoose.
Oh yeah, teased out 80s hair
Looking
hitting the
fantastic.
roof of the fucking
I'll
car.
say I'd fuck them both, but I was more partial to Foxy the brunette. But they were both 80s fuckable.
80s fuckable.
And I'm like, oh my God, I want fuck Crew and his fucking shit ass, his motley crew. I'm Team Bart. I want to hang with these guys.
Yeah.
These are the winners in life.
Right. And the
So I'm conflicted now. I'm like, I don't know who side I'm supposed to be on.
this guy doesn't seem all that bad if he's riding with chicks this hot.
By the way, they're not that bad. I mean, they are dunking on the fucking city. They're like, oh my God, am I going to have to fuck one of these pigs? You know, like
I'm
the
surprised their
twins or
main street is even paved. Was Rod and
Rex's
line there.
Rex-
Comex and Zamat. Is
Zamat.
that it?
Zamat.
Zamat.
leaders of the Crimson Guard.
But, this is where we get to see,
That
Bart.
would have been great, though, if, Todd wipes out and Rex felt it. They should have thrown that in.
They should have. Yeah, I would have liked that.
Yeah.
But we see there is
I thought that was like a real thing amongst twins because of G.I. Joe.
nice.
And the Corsican brothers with Cheech and Chong.
There was a moment in the parade. There's like the one guy who's riding the bike and doing a wheelie on a semi trailer. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then in one of the cars is Lori Loughlin.
Christian. Sister Christian.
I don't like that name for a woman. That's a weird name for a woman.
I don't like the fact that the two leads are Christopher and Christian.
Yeah.
You got to mix it up.
That's weird. That's
Half
even
the
weirder.
people in
They
this
ever call him Christopher? It's just Chris.
once because you know who called him Christopher?
His mother.
Christopher. SATs.
Yep.
I'm crew, Mom. Damn.
God damn it.
So yeah, we got Christian driving her car. And we got, like you said, we got BMX guys doing BMX shit.
Bart decides, because he's got Foxy and Tiger in the backseat who are ready to go anytime.
Yeah.
But that's easy. You know, he wants to work for his, he's a lion. He wants to work for his prey. So he's like, I
You
gotta
always
get...
want what you can't have.
Exactly. And the one
Now,
he
were
can't
you
have-
disgusted by the fact that he was giving up on Foxy and Tiger to try to get with Lori
No, I
Loughlin? Were
understand.
you like,
I
this is a
understand.
downgrade or like...
It would be a downgrade for me, but I understand because he's fucked Foxy and Tiger countless times.
yeah.
He's bored with that shit.
Right. They're constantly throwing their lingerie at him and everything. He's like, I've seen it, girls.
Been
I'm
there, done that.
I need a new
He's pointing to
thrill.
their vaginas.
I need a new thrill kill, and it's Christian.
And she clearly does not want anything to do with him, so that eggs him on.
Now, he does a great heel move here because he doesn't just say something into the camera. He leans into her car and whispers into her ear. And then her response is rolling up the window. And you just see his fingers grip.
What do you think he said? Something about making his face a bike seat and her sitting on it?
Yes,
Oh, definitely a bike sexual reference for sure.
bicycle seats.
You want to see my spokes?
Exactly.
Want to get pegged?
You want to ride my peg?
Maybe that was it. He was like, I want to get pegged.
And she was like,
She was like into it, and she's like, ooh.
I'm into the lore.
He's in the perfect city for it, by the way.
Alberta?
Pegging. No,
you are
Cochran.
obsessed
You are
with Canada.
Yes. So yeah,
The only fact he remembers is this movie was filmed in Canada.
That's how it always goes. I click onto one thing.
so he
that's
gets
it.
back in his car. He stopped the parade. He literally stopped. I have to fucking show my dominance. Make out with this chick. and
Well-
it fizzled up. It fizzled.
I like that you brought that up because another person's about to stop the parade.
Well, before that, he gets back in his car. And then Rod goes, that girl needs an AA. Attitude adjustment.
See, I was playing the twin there because they say everything together.
Yeah. He's like, I think I need to talk to Duke about her.
Right. She's not exactly team ready, worthy.
Team
whatever.
Mongoose.
Team Mongoose.
Just as he says that, a shriek goes up from the sides.
My casserole!
My cake.
Sorrel!
Cake.
Sorrel.
Cake sorrel? What the fuck?
I
It doesn't make
don't
any
know.
sense.
It's some kind of combination.
A woman left her house with a cake in the oven. That's not a euphemism for pregnancy.
That is not a euphemism.
Literal cake. And she's got to get home. Her house is going to burn down.
Right.
Crew, being the gentleman he is, says, "Milady," doffs his fedora, walks right in front of Bart's fucking car, his hero.
Right.
Blocks it with the barricade. "Milady, your chariot waits." And she goes, "Oh, he's such a sweet young boy." Pinches his cheek, goes on, saves her family from burning down.
And we get our meet cute kind of moment here. It's not quite a meet cute because it seems like it's a one-way meet cute. Because this is where, what's her name? Christian. God, I hate that name. Notices.
Wow.
Crew. It's a weird name for a woman, isn't it?
Do you think, like, I was...
Do you hate her name or do you hate Christians? Is what really we're
Sounds
going
like
to
you
say.
hate Christians.
Oh, well, shit. Maybe I learned something. Maybe we're copping a griff.
We were copping a griff back with your little baseball story about the bullies not wanting to play right.
What were you saying before? You started.
Well, I
something.
mean, it's just I was a little bit thrown off by her being excited about like Crew's very mediocre trick as he.
Yeah, I think it was more his chivalry because she's surrounded by douchebags.
Oh yeah,
It's true.
know,
She's
Yeah.
got She's got the Crimson Guard leaders always hitting on her.
Right. She doesn't want to be
She's
the
got
notch in
dollar
his
store Zabka.
Yeah.
his belt.
I think she's
Sorry,
attracted.
American hero gymnast Bart Connor.
I think she's attracted to the small world man or the small town man.
Simple man.
Simple man.
Simple needs.
Simple needs, and Bart's probably wanting to do some weird. Again, you said.
Yeah, he's like he wants to try anal, and he's
Yeah,
he's like I don't know that's exit only.
And by the way,
Crew doesn't even know you can do that. He's just like, what?
We're talking about. You said it first. You said Bart wanted to be pegged, and Christian is like that. That's a thing. So I
Right.
think you're right. She wants to be a small town girl. She wants to be like, no.
Maybe she is a small town girl. She's out of her element. It reminds her of her home in Calgary. And she was like, wow, Cochrane's a lot like Calgary. I could settle down here.
Thank you, Murray. But you see, this is the kind of fucking insight you'll never get on any of those other podcasts. So this is why
It makes it worth the 3 hours of your time.
That's right.
So she smiles with pearly whites at him, and they walk off. I'm like, this relationship is doomed. We've known. If your relationship, and you've lived it, if your relationship doesn't start with fiery hatred, it's never gonna go anywhere.
No.
Because you need all love starts with hate, and
right.
this is love from the beginning. So I'm like, oh, these poor kids, they're not gonna last.
Danzig wrote thousands of songs about this. Some kind of love, it was some kind of hate.
All right, Crew is in school, and I think why it was a one-sided affair because he still has eyes for Katie.
Right.
Yep.
He's still thinking
Split
small
from
town.
Brady was like, I gotta go after Katie. Gotta hit her up for the dance.
Right.
Yeah, because they're gonna have a big dance. Not only they're in parade, they're gonna have a big mongoose dance tonight.
Mongoose dance, yeah.
And so he's got to have Katie, and she's just like, he's like doing all his best tricks. Name them off. I forgot every single one of them.
Tail whip, nose 360 manual, front flip manual into a vert, and
Turn.
A Darth Vader nose. is one of them.
cyclone, the Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And she's just like, because she knows Bart and the twins are in town.
Oh, he's a small town boy too.
She wants to get out of the. I mean, the only way she's going to get out of town, she's either going to work at the strip club on the outskirts of town, or she's going to get the fuck out.
She
with
might
Bart.
be into some trucker love.
Bart
I mean,
is her ticket out of this podunk.
I
town.
think we're
And
right.
She's not wasting that pussy on Crew.
I think we're right that they're small town cross lovers, Crew and Christian, and they want to just have like casual, like normal Christian sex in bed, missionary style. Whereas all the surrounding characters are like, we want to explore. We want to be pegged. We want to be pinned down. We want to be tied up.
Little projection there.
Little projection here. Come on. I watched the same movie you guys watch. You're just smirking at me.
We're not knowing what we're
letting me
talking about.
flounder out here like a goddamn rainbow trout. Fuck you guys.
But he ain't giving up. This is the guts that Crew has. The grit.
See, this is why I like this movie, is that I think they get Crew's character right. We see that he has other opportunities, but he's sticking with the one thing he thinks he can get. He thinks he can get Katie. He's sticking to it.
I'm thinking the total opposite. I'm thinking you're right, but I think it's like he thinks this is where he belongs. Like he can't dare to dream because of his fucking mom that he'd ever leave Cochrane. So he's like, I couldn't have a girl like Christian.
Okay.
I got to stick it with Katie.
Okay.
Get married at 18, knock her up. I work at the fucking chicken plucking factory or some bullshit.
Chicken plucking factory.
I don't know. I don't think he's thinking about her. He hasn't thought about Christian yet, because
he can't.
She saw him, but he wasn't really paying attention. He was too focused on Cake Lady.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
getting off to ask Katie and getting rebuffed. He's shocked that he's rebuffed because she's all, "What are you gonna do? Pick me up on your stupid bike?"
Yeah. And she get like, well, so does that mean you're gonna go to the dance with me? And she gives him the most.
But if she's that dismissive of his bike, which is clearly a part of him. That's how good he rides it.
I see what you're saying here.
It's an extension.
She ain't the chick for him.
Yep, that's right.
I'm glad you said that because it plays a part in this next scene, as it being an extension of who Crew is.
Yes.
So we're right at the dance, and we see all the city council. Elliot and Duke are there. Elliot's spiking the punch and shit. He's like, I'm gonna fuck some underage broad.
This is where we get the first kind of like insight here that oh god damn it, I forgot his name. Burton Timmer,
played by Ray Walston. He's my favorite Martian.
Yeah. He was kind of working alongside with Duke and Elliot.
Yeah,
and
they never really revealed what was going on, this deal they had.
There's
This
some.
was the part that I started, like, I'm just like, there are a lot of moving parts here.
Yeah.
None of them are adding up. And I was really just watching this as a kid because I was like, oh, look at that tail whip.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
He's probably stealing like city funds to pay for the Hell Track or something.
That's what
it was one of those things like the Kansas City Chiefs are doing this right now, where they want these big millionaires want the city to pay for the fucking stadium.
Yeah.
I want Cochran. People fucking don't have a pot to piss in Cochran, so they want to get the fuck out.
Exactly.
And they're using all the funds for this fucking Hell Track.
These guys have barely heard of some of the sex acts that are coming up amongst the youth these days, and yet alone they're supposed to pay for this fucking Hell Track. Satan, right on the banner right there.
Right, yeah.
Come on.
Just as we're pondering that, the real heroes of this story should pop in. Bart, Rod, Rex, in their best V fucking outfits from the V miniseries. You remember it from the 80s.
Yes.
They just made them gray instead of red. Maybe they were lizards. I don't know.
Maybe.
And of course, Tiger. And I found this interesting. Foxy wearing the tiger stripe outfit. I think Tiger would have wore that, but no. Foxy's like, I'm going for the tiger stripe bodysuit.
The real cerebral.
Yeah.
And Foxy.
Tiger's rocking the beret though. She's got her own look going on.
Okay.
And they just barge in, all eyes on them. These guys are like practically celebrities.
Yeah. I mean, this is a Cochrane, small town,
Right.
and these fucking people show up with that fucking hair just
Oh my
exploding.
God. They didn't know you could get hair that high.
Skin tight outfits, all this shit going
There's-
on right now.
Yeah, it's a sex on the dance floor.
I mean, we even get a cut over to Duke. Now, he's talking about Bart, of course, but Duke is just like, oh my God, that Bart boy, he can do it all with
He
that.
is wasted.
Yeah.
Slurring his speech.
Yeah, they
got sauced really quickly.
Very
Well, yeah,
quickly.
Elliot pulled out the booze and was like pouring it in there.
Yeah, Uncle Rick. But yeah, we're getting ready because we're in this podunk town. They don't know all the good dance moves. These guys have the advanced copy of TikTok on, their whatever computers were available in '86.
Breakdancing hasn't come to Cochrane yet.
Yeah,
So they're blowing their minds.
they saw breaking. An early version of
So
it.
now Rod and Rex, apparently they're gonna spit roast Foxy later tonight.
Wait, they were not paying attention to Foxy. Watch that scene again. Those two were
only had eyes for themselves?
Foxy was in the way of those two sword fighting.
Yeah.
They get down, they do fucking the worm.
They do the worm. They do a locomotion kind of action with her.
They introduce the Macarena to fucking Cochrane because that's what Bart and Tiger are doing. They like doing the Macarena. I don't know what was going on with that.
Bart's color combo. He's always going for the Oakland Athletic thing. Green, white, and yellow. He's always doing it. So here he's wearing a green blazer, white
Is that Team
pants.
Mongoose's colors?
Theirs was white, yellow, and black.
Okay.
So the green was just his own edition. He was from California, so he might have been from the Oakland area, and that's why he just always wore green in there with the white and yellow.
Is he mentioned he's from California?
This is the headcanon he's got going on right now.
What? No, from a
Motherfucker's
Is it
eyes
just
are
because of
always
all-
on baseball.
Are you assuming-
Baseball and softball. He's like, it was the height of McGuire and Canseco. He was clearly an A's fan.
I like that in '86. Canseco and McGuire.
Yeah. There was the earthquake.
Yup. Oh my. But no, I say that because of the.
I thought you were just saying that he was from San Francisco because he wants to get pegged.
No, I'm saying that because in one of we agreed pre-Mike that one of the coolest scenes of this movie is when they introduce the final 20 racers and they introduce where they're from and they say Bart is from.
Oh, all right.
So that's where that comes from. I'm not.
I was
Okay.
way too infatuated with everyone's dirt stash.
Yes.
To be able to tell where they were coming from.
If I made a trailer for this movie, it would just be that scene.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's
It
all you
would
need.
just be that. It's 45 seconds long of introducing 20 different racers, 3 of which you see in this movie.
Outside, well, they're holding court inside. Outside, Crew is doing a little of his tricks for the kiddies.
I would like. Do you guys want to describe his outfit for me?
I don't even remember it.
You don't.
Oh, Crew's outfit. He's wearing.
Please.
He's wearing he's wearing a button-up shirt, but then it appears that he has like gray sweatpants on.
Yes.
But they have like
Piping?
tuxedo
Yeah.
stripes.
Yes.
On the side with
Sequin.
like stars.
They were like sequin
That's,
and
Yeah.
stars.
that's Cochran's
wearing-
sophisticated look.
Chuck
Yeah.
Taylors.
He got it
Yep.
from that little shop, that boutique that Becky
and
goes to.
he's doing tricks outside.
I'm disappointed you didn't notice that because these pants.
I was mesmerized by Foxy and Tiger. at
This is
point,
true.
you know?
Murray was lost in the fog.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your copy of the fog, by the way.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah.
Halloween idea for us.
Okay.
Rod, Rex, Foxy.
Break out my V costume.
All right.
Oh my
You guys
God.
can figure out the dance moves. I'll just stand awkwardly in the middle.
Start
You
working
guys
on
can
that
finally
hair.
Do your thing.
Finally, we'll have our fried chicken and our pistols pointed at our- Sorry, that's a reference, not for Sean.
Was it in a previous episode?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
That's why our friend got us a KFC gift card.
So
Thank you, Phil.
I didn't notice, but you know who did notice? Christian. Because she was outside. I think she was like showing everyone the Corvette that they're going to win. You know, who's
She-
gonna win.
yeah,
'Cause
she's
she's just basic. Remember, she's still a girl. This is the 80s. She can ride a bike, but she's not tough enough for the health track. So she just does the like exhibition, like the tricks and stuff.
Right.
So she's being the spokesmodel for Hell Track, showing the Corvette to everybody, and she knows those sweatpants. She likes what she sees.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're sparkling in that fucking school light, and I was really questioning this. I'm like, is she trying to steal the limelight for him, or is she really just into this 30-year-old man who's still going to high school?
That's her courting move, man.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna see next. I don't know if we can break out the Sweden scale. That's another reference you won't get. Maybe we need a new one, Griff, the Schwinn scale, because this scene
We can use it one time.
This scene coming up. Maybe you can have a little like the little bell that you swing. It's annoying. Because this scene is the closest thing you can get to sex in this movie.
Yeah.
It's basically a metaphor, an allegory, if you will, for sex.
Question: is the Queen song "I Want to Ride My Bicycle" actually about sex? Is it some kind of euphemism?
That would have been the perfect song for this scene.
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
You didn't think
I
so,
just thought fucking guy loves bikes.
right?
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm not trying to imply anything. I was asking questions.
So, does he go in first? Or she goes in first.
She does
She
the.
kind of hops. He's like standing there, cool guy.
He's
like
got-
check everybody. Look at all the tricks that I just did. And then she jumps over his bike.
Yes.
And is like, "You're nothing, kid." And then
And by she, we mean a guy in a wig. Yeah. Because that was not Lori Loughlin.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then when she's stationary on the bike, not moving, she kind of motions him into the school, and they ride their bikes in there.
Yup.
And then she wheels up to Bart, and he's like, "Bitch, could have let me finish dancing."
Right. Are
And
you
Rod
Team
and Rex are
Mongoose?
like, "Finally, Foxy's out of the way. Let's jerk each other off."
Yeah. Now that the heat's off, them they go to the fucking locker room.
So then the announcer's going crazy because he's like, "Oh, we're about to really get a show. Christian and Bart are about to do some moves." But it's not Bart.
Boom. You see,
Bart-
Pigeon remembers.
Yeah,
this.
Bart did bring his
I
bike.
mean, this left an impact.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
the
really?
Yeah, as far as the 80s go, it's like Joyce Iser's tits, this scene in Rad, and then when Arnold Schwarzenegger drops that dude in
Sully.
Commando.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
That was the 80s for me.
Hell yeah. Icebox was a part of, that was like one of my big three. But
So-
Commando Bennett, put a pipe in it. Bennett was my childhood.
Yeah.
Blow off some steam.
Who I
Blow
thought-
off some steam. Thank
who
you.
I
I'm
thought
sorry.
was Freddie Mercury for years.
That was a confusing
guys
time
knew
for me
that.
too. Yeah.
that I mistook Freddie Mercury for the villain in Commandos for years.
I guess all mustache guys look the same to you.
He wanted to ride
It was
bikes.
the mesh
So-
shirt, too.
Yeah.
The DJ's like, I smell something out there. It's called sex, everybody. Hit the music. And, of course, we break into one of the most sexiest songs of the 80s. Aussie one-hit wonders, real lifes, Send Me an Angel. This is the one song. I remember this song. I remember the video. You remember the video for this song?
If it wasn't the dance scene?
No, it was not. Because this song came out a couple years earlier.
Okay.
Oh,
so
wow.
They brought it back.
So, I'll tell it to you.
Oh,
They're in the forest.
we're going into one of our old bits.
The band is classic geeky Pet Shop Boy looking. Like, the lead singer looking has AIDS. He's like totally emaciated. Gigantic hoop earring. You would have loved it, Griff.
I would have loved that.
Gigantic hoop earring. And then there's like, so they're in the forest. And then there's like a princess. And the beast from Beauty and the Beast is chasing her.
Okay.
Well, then they cut back to the band every once in a while. And then a little boy with a bow and arrow shoots the beast. And the princess kisses his hand.
Okay.
And they walk off together into the sunset.
The little boy?
Yes.
Yikes.
Okay.
He was her angel.
He was a wrestler.
We could do a whole another hour on that alone.
So this scene, yes, this is the most erotic scene we've probably covered in a long time.
Yeah. We've been missing out on the Sweetson scale. Now we got the Schwinn scale, and
Right.
the way these.
Well, first of all, let's play a little of it. Is this fuckable music, first of all? I say yes. I think you could get down to this song. Pigeon, what do you think? Is it
Yeah.
fuckable?
Sure. Especially if you're doing it on a bike.
Check. The moves, the sexual movements off the chart. I've never seen. Of course, we're using a bicycle as a replacement, but the sexual movements, the bisexual movements,
the way they gyrate, the way they pump that tire,
the choreography,
they stroke the spokes. I gotta say, these
off the
kids,
charts.
how they ride the handlebar, like, come on,
Yeah,
come on. This is
I heard Lori Loughlin train for a year just for this scene.
yeah,
And it paid off.
paid off.
They're floating on air, basically.
Both these kids' facials were perfect in this whole scene.
Yeah.
Because most of the shots we don't even see the bikes, and I don't know if that's just because we were so enamored in like the whole sensuality of it all,
Right, yeah,
or
we
if it's
were.
because the camera zoomed in on their faces alone. But oh, Murray, we haven't seen this kind of artistry in a while.
Duke got an erection for the first time in 10 years.
We didn't even say this. We got a Duke back-to-back weeks.
That's true. This is the Duke of Cochrane.
This is the
Duke of Mongoose.
the Duke of Mongoose.
And he's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. Well,
I
these
don't-
guys are used to jerking off over Bart, and now all of a sudden it's like this local fucking trash boy comes in with this stupid little trash stash, and it's like, oh my
You
god,
couldn't grow a trash stash.
he delivers papers. Oh, that's so disgusting. I want to know everything about him.
Elliot, to me.
To me,
What factory is this kid in? Find out now. And the guy just scurries off. After they were doing some pretty sweet shit. I mean, the guy got up on a balance beam. I'd be
He
scared
did.
to do that shit.
he did. He got up on a balance beam. He stopped. He rotated and bounced like a 360 on top of it. All this cool shit. Everybody's freaking out because it's badass. And Christian just wants
You
to
could,
get.
would you say it's rad?
I would say it's Rad Murray. And so, of course, song finishes, rather. So I guess the dance finishes as well. Christian just wants to get a minute with this guy. And he rides off.
Well, first, the DJ's like, encore. Everyone's like, do it again. Bart pissed off in the background.
Gotta find out what the twins are up to. But yeah, Crew rides off. And Christian is just like, I want to get a fucking minute with you. She's
He is
chasing
such
him.
a fucking cunt tease. That
What?
fucking crew.
What is
Focused
this?
on his riding, man.
Is that all it was? Just like, I can't be fucking.
Yeah.
It's like a
You see-
boxer.
so you're saying he's still into Katie? He still hasn't noticed Christian?
I mean, he clearly noticed her there, but he was like, I got shit to do. I got no time for this.
Wow.
Okay.
He's focused.
Like
It's this or the SATs, man. There's no way out of
Oh,
Cochrane.
sex and SATs. He's like, no, I can't get mingled up in that. I got a bike race to win.
So she's just like, well, he's playing it perfectly. He's playing her like a violin.
We go to the next day. We're seeing a little bit more of the town of Cochrane. They have the one main street. We are already on this main street for the parade, but we're seeing a little bit more.
See, this is where Bart's the real villain. Like before, where you were like, Bart's not a villain.
Yeah.
They go into that.
Bakery.
He goes in, Foxy and Tiger on his arms. The twins are nowhere around because they're exhausted from pegging each other.
Yep. I like
the night before. He goes into the diner. Dude greets him. Doesn't even get it out before he's like, "What do I gotta do to get a table, man?" And it's off that guy's ass.
Yes, he is.
That's where, if you've ever worked in the service industry, that's where Bart is the actual villain. 'Cause
Yes.
it's like, yeah, you haven't even been greeted.
Right.
You think he's rolling out the red carpet in this little diner?
There's so
Look.
much good shit that happens here. And the first thing I want to
You gotta
mention,
understand something. Bart is a superstar. All
Bart
right?
isn't just a superstar. Did you notice he is clearly 4 to 5 inches shorter than both those girls?
Because he's a gymnast, and all gymnasts are 5 feet tall.
I just like the
So-
lesson they're trying to teach people. It's
What-
Do the
okay.
Tom Cruise thing and put him on something?
No.
No, they were just
Well,
They allowed
but-
him.
supermodels towering over him.
They allowed him to be a short king, as
It
people
didn't
call him
help.
today.
Bruce was the age of big hair, so they were even a foot taller. Than him
Exactly.
with the hair.
I already said they were 5 to 6, and then with the hair, you're talking a full fucking foot. And did Bart seem bothered by it? Not at all.
So the diner owner's all sweating it. Al from Happy Days.
Yes.
So what does he do?
He finds Crew's crew.
Luke and Becky, who are, quite frankly,
Becky is slowly turning into a swan.
Yes.
They're just sipping on a Coke.
Yeah.
They're sharing
They've been
it.
there 5 hours.
Right.
One guy has a business to run, people.
Right. And I love this again because we're getting some, back to foreshadow. He says, what can I do to get you guys? I got an idea. New rule, $5 minimum.
Whole movie is about new rules. Nobody plays by the rules.
Yeah, this whole movie is about kids damning the man.
Yep.
Taking down the system.
There's a good moment in this movie where Crew learns the toughest lesson of all. Take the money as soon as you can get it because you're going to get fucked over.
Right. And do by any means necessary.
Right.
Which we'll get into.
That's right.
So he kicks him out of their table.
Right.
And then this part bummed me
Well,
out.
if they had $5.
Right. And we also see that Crew is the busboy. This is where we learn he is a
Yeah.
busboy here because he has to clean up his friend's table. Sorry, guys. See you later.
Yeah, and then he's like fucking starstruck by Bart. It's like he ignored him at the fucking. He could have hung out with him at the dance all he wanted.
Right.
What mind games is Crew playing? He's like this total fucking mind fucker.
It's bizarre.
Chris Angel, you're not the mind fuck.
Mm-hmm. Crew's the original mindfuck.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so
there's this where we're introduced to Crew's boss at the diner, Blob.
He's not the boss. He's just the fucking cook.
He's just the fucking
He acts
cook.
like the boss.
He does, yeah. He's pretty boss.
No, I think he's just still in the background.
Yeah, the owner was the guy who gets Bart his seat.
And he's like, "Hi, Mr. Taylor." He just blows him off.
All right, so after work, Crew, of course, is going to be going back to the fucking ramp that they had set up. Again, we've realized now this film's probably being shot in Canada. We know that for a fact.
Not
We do,
probably.
because you have brought it up.
Well, yeah.
More than any, like you've talked more about Canada than they did the entire time they were in Canada.
Are you working for like the Travel Tourist Bureau or something?
Well, Murray, I gotta
Canada.
stop.
It's the
I
place
gotta,
to be.
Red hat, red shirt.
Oh, Canada.
Secretly Canadian.
I gotta
Has
stop.
your American propaganda on the Golan-Globus podcast been a front?
I got a side hustle, and yes, I do work for Canada now, Alberta specifically. But we also, the fact that I was trying to get to before I was so rudely cut off, is that we know this is in the fall. And their little
You
fucking
can see the
Because of the
leaf.
foliage?
Yeah, the leaves are
leaves are-
changing.
The
Which
foliage.
as a kid, it's weird that you mentioned that because I did notice that. I
Yeah.
was like, because I would have thought this would have been like a summer movie.
Exactly.
What's said
Yeah.
in the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Because
all
all
the
the
girls
got
are-
out there and spray painted those leaves green.
I think this is the first scene we see of it, but because what's her name? Christian is hanging out now and watching crew trying to do the backflip. Right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
In the background, we see that Tiger and Foxy are
Put some respect on
poolside.
their names.
Yeah, I was about to call them Tiger and Army because of the stupid fucking band that's in my head. But they're hanging out
Tiger
poolside
and Woods. Yeah.
in bikinis.
Yeah.
And we know this is done in the fall. You can see
Yeah.
the breath hanging on
Hey,
people.
at least they didn't have to get into the water, unlike our heroes later on.
Yeah, that's very fucking true. You got to ass
So,
slide.
But this is, hey, man, much like Christian says in this scene, no guts, no glory.
That's right.
And these girls are going to make it out of whatever podunk town they're from by
Right.
being in rad.
That's true. So we see that she's coaching crew on how to do the backflip. Give me those fucking dirty
Yeah, because her
mattresses.
specialty is like tricks. She's not a racer.
Yeah.
So she knows all the tricks.
Right. You got to lead with your head. Wherever your head goes, your body will go. Come on, that's that simple. We all know this.
Remove the mattresses, pussy. And that sets him off. He's like, all right, get rid of them.
Right.
No
See,
guts, no glory, bitch.
Tiger and Foxy.
She really,
don't talk
throughout
that
this
way.
movie, she's always questioning his manliness.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. She is 1,000%.
But he removes the mattresses and he flips. Or does he overflip?
He overflips. Flat back bump.
And she's just like, I guess you over rotated. And he's totally emasculated at this point. So he's got to get his man back. No shit.
Right.
Did 8-year-old
Oh, I
you love
it.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Any
I was
swear
real
word.
big on the swears.
Any swear word. When I got an ICP, that was the main
Which I'm
thing.
like, I'm convinced that I saw this on TV, but I guess not if that was the case. Because it's the same thing with, I always thought that I just saw just one of the guys on TV, but clearly I didn't.
Yeah.
That must have been cable.
He was probably on HBO all the time.
Left an impression.
Sure
Lasting
enough.
imprint, yeah.
He does it again, and he mastered it. Thanks to Christian's tutelage.
The two of them go walking off, just, bikes in tow, walking, exploring the.
He asked her, like, so are you
hillside.
going to be in Hell Track? She's like, oh, no. I don't do Hell Tracks.
It's like,
Right.
I'm just the circus monkey.
That's
Right.
right.
I just pedal on the one wheel.
I'm just the eye candy.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's like, well, what do you do in this backwoods fucking town?
It's so beautiful. What are you
I mean,
doing
there's
this
woods
garbage
porn
town?
everywhere. There's a fucking hustler right there, but I got that issue. What else do you do? Well, we do something called ass sliding.
Ass sliding? You have to take me by my hips and show me some ass sliding.
So this is where these guys earn their fucking paycheck, because this is like fucking November in Calgary.
This is what November Rain's all about.
And we're thinking...
Can we just talk about the fact that, like, when they were in the parade, Tomax and Zomet, or whatever, we're talking shit about the town being lame.
Yeah.
But then we cut to this, like,
Montage of it being fun.
mountain range, fucking pine trees everywhere,
Yeah.
beautiful
If
lake.
you're into hiking, this is the place to be.
Outdoor, yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
beautiful.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
And it takes a woman like Christian to realize it's amazing.
And it takes a man like Crew to show her, to open her eyes, to
Yeah.
show her the heavenly glory,
Who
if you
came
will.
up with ass slide? Like, who
I
in
don't-
the writing room of
Hell
the movie
need
was
'em.
like,
Hell need him.
Probably
we're gonna
something they
refer
did.
this ass sliding.
Yeah, for everyone anyone hasn't seen it, why are you listening to this? You haven't seen it, but it's just a water slide they have built.
Yeah.
And
Ass
into a
slide.
lake.
It's like a drain pipe. It's not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
like a water
It is.
slide.
It
It's
is.
raw sewage.
So
It's-
you're just
falling out.
sliding on your ass.
It's
Yeah,
drainage.
well, it's, yeah.
Yeah. So they
She's not surprised.
at this point she is wearing turquoise sweats. And he is wearing his usual blue jean and like cut up fucking sweater. And so they're ass sliding in
And he
full.
is really trying hard not to grab her breasts.
Oh my God! Yes.
Like when he's doing the behind the back hug,
Yup.
you can tell he kind of wants to move the arms up a little bit, but he's not doing it.
Yep.
He's clearly thinking about Optimus Prime eating pizza. That's what he's doing.
Was that a Coleman?
Yeah, that was a call.
That's a Coleman
You would have
pigeon.
known that if you listened to our show.
Yeah.
So
That's how you fight the boners. Oh my
So she brings up college. So what are you gonna do after you lose health track? And I'm going to college. Really, college?
Yeah, they both have a 1, 2, 3, Coke Jinx type moment. I'm going to college, and he's like, "Well, I can't participate in the race because then I'll miss my SAT."
Education, smeducation. My fucking sister,
Took
she
6 months
off to find herself. She
No big
checked
deal.
across Europe.
Yeah.
Do it. Follow your gut, not your mom's bullshit.
And that's what his dad always taught him. His late daddy. Follow your gut. And so
Are you positive that's his late father?
No, he left. He left because of that nagging mom.
no,
This
they
guy
say
fucking
he's
hates
dead.
Talia Shire.
They say he's dead.
He's dead to her, yeah.
Okay, that's a good point.
So he's just like,
Well, if I do try to race in the qualifier, will maybe you be with me? Pulls her in real close. No room for Jesus here. They're getting real close. Dried off, by the way. Her hair went from wet to being perfect.
yeah, Jesus, take the handlebars.
Jesus, take that fucking hair bar.
And they give a nice little chaste kiss. This is where your favorite character shows up, Pigeon. Next day, crew shows up late to work.
Always late.
And who's
to
giving him
work.
shit but
Scratch.
Blob? My name's not Blob, it's Bob.
This is crew mocking Blob.
This guy's a fucking, he probably started working here in high school and never left.
He's either
the lifer. He's a diner
he's the
lifer.
dad or the older brother to the nerd that Wesley got picked on by, the ginger earlier.
Look at you. You should have written this movie.
No, this is good writing here. This makes sense. In a small town especially,
Yeah.
this is good. This is good shit. They lose track some places, but they got it right here.
It was this scene. What is this scene? He just tells like Luke he's going to enter or something. I don't know why we even have this scene in the movie.
Yeah. And plus it gives some extra blob.
Right.
Yeah.
This,
I mean, he really shines here.
Just sets the
There's
foundation
the
for
mocking
Blob.
tone.
we need to understand that there's more, like the jocks have already been, not the jocks, but the preps have already been written off. They had the one scene, juvenile asshole. So we need more people in the
Plus you need another shot of him struggling. Like here he is, just a busboy. He's got this fry cook fucking up his ass saying he can't make it.
Yeah.
It's just another part of the underdog story.
There's
He's got to break through.
Yeah, but
So how is he going to enter Hell Track? How is he going to enter Hell Track without his mom's permission?
Yeah, that's what we got to build up to.
Well, this shows a lot about Crew's character. We'll learn Crew's not such the hero after all.
Oh my God, we're
Because he has like 50 fucking forms and he balls it up.
we know he was a paper boy, so he's
Yeah.
been stealing the papers to get all the submissions, so nobody else in town can
Yeah,
submit.
no Kinko's in Cochrane, so he can't get
Yeah.
a fucking Xerox.
Right? He can. Yeah.
So he's just balling up. He can't get the fucking name right. Wesley's like, hey, freak, what are you doing?
Right. Walking around with a tube of toothpaste and a toothbrush in her mouth. That's a tripping hazard. That's dangerous.
So is Wesley cooler than Crew?
Oh, hell yeah.
Because I've
Yeah.
started to notice, because it's the same, not that I'm jumping ahead episodes for one in the future and I keep on bringing it up, but it's a goddamn classic. But the brother in Just One of the Guys was pretty cool too.
Yeah, he taught her how to scratch your balls.
Right?
I've never seen. I've seen the glorious moment, and that's it.
I mean,
That's all you need.
talk
to see.
about
Because when I first met Pigeon at the comic book store, it was one of the guys this, just one of the guys that.
it was because
So-
that's how me and Mullins became friends. Because I didn't like Mullins when we first went to the store because I thought he was a little shit.
yeah.
He didn't like
One
me.
thing I want to point out, we all hated each other, and now we
true.
have this love for each other.
It's true. Our whole fucking conniption about love before or hate before love,
And
it's
I didn't
how
like it.
true.
And one day he was discussing the infamous scene from Just One of the Guys, but he was like talking about it as though it was this thing that he had made up in his head.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what it was from. And without missing a beat, I was like, it's just one of the guys. Because
Every man listening to this right now is nodding his head. Like,
Yep.
yeah, I know
I
exactly what you're
understand this.
talking about.
Right. And so that's how me and Mullins actually became friends, was because he was like, oh, this guy that I wasn't really into, he's all right if he knows he was able to. Because that was like a question Mullins said he had going on for years. Like he could not.
That's how cable TV was. I
There
had
was-
those
dude, there was
movies.
this fucking movie I saw as a kid where like it was like a made-for-TV movie about some kid who had.
There we go.
It was
Good
like
job,
it was
Murray.
like a.
Don't
Like
make
he
me a
had-
bad guy all the
He
time.
put peanut butter on his hair and it grew. And the scene that I always remember was like he had a best friend and like because the kid was sick or something. And
Okay.
there was, like, I think it's called the peanut butter solution.
Okay.
Okay. But a kid had put the peanut butter in his pubes. And so then the next day he came into school and it was like growing.
Why
out
would
his
you
pant
want to
legs.
grow your pubes?
I
mean,
don't know.
It's weird teen shit. And I feel like that writes itself. It's
So
weird
that was
teen
my
shit.
like. I thought this movie was just like created in my head. It's like the people who think that Sinbad was in the Shazam. Or
Yes,
whatever
yeah.
is,
That was-
which I'm
yeah.
still convinced that is real.
I thought that
Like,
was real too.
I'm
Yeah.
one of those people that's like, no, I'm pretty sure I've seen
Yeah.
that movie.
Yeah.
And it's not Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal,
Yeah.
but it's actually Sinbad. But that was the peanut butter
That's the
solution for
beauty.
me, and it was just one of the guys from Mullins.
The beauty of the pre-internet age, you had nowhere to look for this shit.
I
There's no fucking book at the library about just one of the guys.
Right.
You just said, I guess that happened.
you got to explain it like you did and hope
'Cause then
somebody
you
knows.
bought me just one of the guys for my
Yeah.
birthday,
Yeah, of course, like any
and I
good
still
friend
watch
would
it
do.
now every year on my birthday.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm like, towards the end of the movie, I'm like, Ashley, you gotta leave. I gotta have some alone time.
I
This
think
one's just one of the for the guys.
I think I've brought it up on the show, but my cable movie that I watch, I was an Arnold fan as a kid, Twins. And I never, like, I caught glimpses of it, and I loved Twins. And then I never got to see it again. And I was like, this movie's make-believe. I thought I made it
See
up.
those two reunited at the Oscars the other night?
No, I did not. I
I
would
did.
never.
It wasn't a Twins reference, though. It was all about
Nope.
Batman.
Don't you dare.
So Wesley's like, hand it over, bitch. Hands over the form.
Hey!
Chill out, man.
Just woke up from a nap. Just got to come over and bark at Pidge. Yeah, just fucking scribbles it out. No way I'm getting my sister involved in a life of crime at such a young age. Nails it first try. You're a fucking idiot. It's all about the finesse. You're forcing it. Tippy tap, ink, blap.
Right. It's not about powers. It's about it's tippy tap.
Yeah. Think about our mom. She's weak. She's always telling people they're wrong and they can't do it. That's how you got to think when you write.
And then she's like, I'll borrow your headphones now. But for her payment.
That's right. All right. So.
Qualifying day, people. Pros are out signing those autographs, the photo ops.
That's right. Duke, he's getting interviewed here, and Murray, we see this all the time, week in, week out on AEW Wrestling. He's getting interviewed, and he's trying to steal the mic. But they have a real interviewer here. I don't remember this guy's name. If the interviewer had a fucking name, guy's a legend. Because he's not giving up the mic. Did you notice this about Duke?
I did.
Oh, he's
It's
trying
a
to take that
scumbag
mic.
move.
He's scumbag, lispy, drunk, piece of shit.
I felt that BMX needed their own Super Bowl, and that Super Bowl is Hell Track. You can thank me, Podunk Cochran.
Right.
We're putting you on the map.
The top engineers across the globe of BMX
By the way,
biking.
Totally a weak ass track. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, it was
It
not
will-
that impressive.
The ceilings look really low because they have like the overpass, underpass type situation.
Apparently, the ramp, the first ramp they go down to, was higher, and the guys
50.
were like, "We're not going down."
Yeah,
man.
it
Fuck
was
that
double the
shit."
height. It was
Yeah.
50, and then they moved it to 25 because the BMX guys were like, "Fuck that, no." So I don't know. I don't understand that. I've never gone down a ramp of even 10
Was
feet.
that part of the research? You guys found
yeah,
this
of
out that it was
course.
50 feet?
Yeah.
I mean, that.
He's
that's
about to
pretty-
tell us we're wrong.
That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
that's pretty rad.
Rad. But yeah, Duke's explaining. You know, we had to do the Super Bowl. Fucking.
There was
BMX
one guy
biking.
on the qualifier that ate shit though, face first.
Yes.
Into the dirt.
He was. Oh, I think he was the guy the movie's based on. He's paid $500 of Wipeout, so he did 3 wipeouts.
Oh.
So the movie's based on him, and they were like, the only thing you get to do in this film is.
Well, he gets to do all the stunt biking for
Okay.
crew.
He gets to show like this is actually pretty fucking
breaking my
hard.
heart that it wasn't actually crew.
Yeah.
As it would happen, Mom is doing what moms do, ironing clothes. Turns on the TV. This story is so big, it's on TV.
I want to give credit to Mom because, you know, she's trying to test that the iron's hot And she doesn't just like flick water at it. She fucking grabs onto the iron. That's a ballsy move.
Well, apparently all the women have the balls in this town of Cochrane. So she's watching, she's learning, and she's like, is that race that Crew was talking that I forbid him from going to? And then did she spot him on the TV or something?
They mentioned him.
Oh.
They're like hometown hero.
Yeah, they're slowly building up to it. So it's just, we see her click on the TV, and it starts to build up that tension, and you're like, oh, we know, I was about to call him Clue. We know Crew's there.
And she's like, I didn't sign any fucking release form.
Right. That's what we're going to get to.
So now we get the rules, which don't matter, people, because rules don't matter in this movie. But the rules supposedly are each participant runs 3 qualifying races to get in.
Right.
And each race will get tougher. They run the same track every time. I don't know how it's getting tougher.
Well, what they're trying to say is how it's going to get tougher because they make it seem like the qualifiers are all just the locals. But it's not that. It's all the BMX pros in there, too.
Even though it should. I mean, I guess you do have to have qualifying for any kind of race if there's more than 20 participants.
Right. And there's 1,000 participants. According to Crew. It sounds wrong.
According to Crew or Duke?
According to Crew later on. Because he tells his mom, I'm one of 1,000, and now I'm one of 20. That's an SAT question in itself. Right. Do the math.
What's the percentage?
Exactly.
So the top 20 racers will have the opportunity to race in Hell Track.
That's what we're boiling it down to.
So the first race, Crew does not participate in, but Bart does. And Bart is easily laps everybody.
That's right. He's backflipping. He's tail whipping. He's gyrating. He's cyclopsing. He does it all.
Crew is getting ready for his race, and Mom shows up. Oh, hell. Oh, hell no, Mom. We see fucking Blob, and he's like, I hope he gets his butt kicked.
I did actually laugh out loud at that part. I don't know why, but it was like not what I was expecting. The delivery was fantastic. Blob might be the star for me.
Yeah. I liked Blob as an extra in this movie.
That guy? Not my fucking friend.
Not my fucking friend.
So, Crew is racing with the Reynolds twins, and they're in the lead because they're fucking pros, too. They're not Bart Taylor level, but they're pretty damn good.
Right.
And he's got the lead. Crew is fucking in distant 4th place.
I just
love and he fights his way to 3rd. How does he fight his way to 3rd, guys? By cheating.
And this is where, when Pigeon walked in the door, we said, how do you feel about your hero now, punk? What the fuck?
I was really bummed when I noticed that. Because I know you guys talked about when they're riding along the lake, him kind of jumping.
Before that, though.
But I mean, we're talking like in the downhill.
Yeah.
He goes like off the side and kind of swoops around everybody.
Right. He
like
avoids. I thought the whole point of the track is you ride the track.
Right.
He goes off road the easier way because the track they're doing is all bumpy and shit.
It's muddy. It's bumpy. It's hard. And he's like, hey, there's a road right there. I'm going to ride on the road.
He's trailblazing.
He is just making up his own fucking rules.
And it's accepted. So who's the real villain? I don't know.
It's hard to just
and by cheating, he finally gets in 3rd place, just right behind the Reynolds twins.
Right.
And he's fucking passes out. He's hyperventilating. He's like, oh my God, I didn't think it was gonna be that hard.
Right. Yeah, so we see each race, he's just getting beat up more and more because he has to ride it out so fucking hard.
Second qualifier he's in, he barely does it again by cheating again because his shortcut.
One of our side characters that we barely get to see and care about, Luke, is actually in the second in this race as well, and he
follows the rules.
And he biffs it.
Yeah.
And his front tire just explodes like Baby Griff. Actually, my tire fell off. His just gets bent to fucking
I don't know how
hell.
the hell this happened. You get hit by a car or something.
There's all those bumps on the part that fucking Crew avoided.
Yeah. And although we're in a giant biking encampment, it's not like, oh, yeah, we can just swap your tire out. They're like, nope, you're done. You're done, kid.
Well, he doesn't have an endorsement deal. He only has one bike.
He's just riding his Huffy, man.
Right.
He's out.
Huffy, that's another
And
one.
He
tell-
doesn't have Foxy and Tiger there to, grease the
He's
wheels.
stuck with Becky.
Stuck with Becky. There was the moment we didn't talk. Wait, maybe
We
that
haven't got there yet.
We
okay,
haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, okay.
We're at the
When they-
qualifiers
When
right
Rad
now.
Racing starts, we're suddenly
Yeah.
Becky.
You feel like we're at the end of this movie. No, we're like a quarter of the way through.
So Luke's like, I'm out, bro. It's up to you to fucking represent
You
Cochran.
guys make it seem like this movie's so long, but this podcast is already a half an hour longer.
Yep, it is.
Sorry. Well,
You guys got a Mystery Science Theater 3000 this thing from now on and actually watch the movie.
And just do it with the movie so we're end on time? No, that'll never happen.
yeah.
That
So now we're at the last qualifier for crew. And he takes a tumble. He finally goes down that hill. I forgot why he
Dude,
kept
and he goes down
avoiding
that.
it.
Okay, so there's no way he's winning this.
right.
Right.
I mean, no way.
He hit that. He biffed
He
it
wipes
so
out
hard.
a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
takes him a while. Like, it's not like he gets up, dusts himself off, and hops back on that bike. It took a little too. He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not making it
There's no way.
unless he bunny hops over the fence
Yes.
and takes off where there's no bikers in his way.
And
to
the
box
road's
him out.
paved.
Right. And then all the locals look the other way for the local hero to somehow place again.
This is where, like, this is the problem I have. Like, in a classic snobs versus slobs movie, there'd be some cheating involved from the bad guys.
Right.
Like he wouldn't have, like the Reynolds
Nope.
twins would have put, like, something in his spokes and made him
Yes.
flip. No, he fucks up on his own.
Yup.
And he decides, I'll make it up by cheating.
Yeah, I got to admit that was one of the things that threw me because it's been a couple years since I've seen it, and the like I said, crew-colored glasses were off, and I was like, I just think in the '80s I was trained to think that anybody who looked like William Zabka was a villain.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, all right, blonde kid with a chick, bad guy.
Yes.
Right.
Brunette kid, no chick, good guy.
Right.
So, of course, what we're alluding to is that a crew manages to finish the race. He doesn't just place. He gets second place. He was fighting for first place.
Well, when you cheat, it works out that way.
Yeah. And, of course, the whole town is rallying around him. The fucking frenzy happening here. His friends pick him up on his shoulders. He's cheering out. Then he turns to his 9 o'clock and sees Mom barreling down on him.
You
Guys.
defied me. You're selling your future away for a bicycle.
This is very self-destructive.
What would your father think? I'll tell you what my father would think, Mom. He would say, fucking A, son.
That's pretty rad.
And Mom has nothing to say to that. She's just like, he just dropped the mic on her.
Yeah.
And she's just
What
like,
a-
I guess you're right. Can you, maybe in 6 months, do the G?
Will
make
you
up the
please,
G-
in 6 months, take your SATs regardless?
I'll think about it, Mom.
He said he would. He promised her.
Yeah. We've already...
You guys have really turned the
we-
corner on
yeah,
Crew.
He
yeah.
promised her until he got that 100K.
Yeah.
First of all, he's got 10K right now.
He's already got 10K in the pocket, and he's about to win
Right.
100 more. Fucking A.
Duke hears about Crew from his underling. What? That sexy young boy with the crazy rad skills? I told you to get me dirt on that guy, Elliot.
I need to know what factory. In BMX, we don't call it a sponsorship. We call it a factory, okay? Get
They're-
radical.
Because they're products.
That's right.
This is a thing about capitalism too.
That's right. There is some capitalism. Sorry, everybody who's, not cool.
Next day, Crew, he's like the good hero he is. He didn't quit his job, much as he hates Blob. He's back to busting those tables, and Luke shows up with the boys, and like, promise me you'll let me ride in your Corvette, bro.
Oh, man.
And he's like, whoa, guys, I haven't won anything yet. He won 10K, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't won anything yet.
I still have to
It's
race.
not about the money, man. It's about conquering Hell Track.
That's right.
Right. And then Luke goes, hey, people, how about some applause for our rad dude? And then fucking someone comes in. Hey, Duke wants to see you.
He's outside. He wants to see you.
Was that the chick with the comic books?
Yes.
Oh,
Thanks-
what?
Yeah.
Oh, that just came in to say Duke
Yeah.
won. Okay, yeah.
We-
yeah.
we gr- Pigeon wants to point this out.
Well, this comes up later. This isn't even this scene.
Is it?
Oh no, it was later.
Yeah. Because that's when he's trying to make
the
up.
Sweet rack was later.
Yeah,
Okay.
when he's trying to make up.
My bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're okay. I know you want to
Somebody
talk about the
comes
rack.
in. As he's walking out, we see how Tiger and Foxy earn their keep.
They're walking down. They're strutting.
Right.
Okay. Because they're looking great.
This is where if Murray was crew, the movie would be over.
Right. I'd be like, both of you at once? Let's go. There's a dumpster right there.
I was like, I don't care
I've
about
got
Hulk anymore.
I've got front pegs and back pegs.
I'm thinking with my nut. So he's like, ew, get away from me. I've got to talk to Duke. So they're like, damn, maybe he is like they say, you know. So he goes in Duke's in his car, like, come into my office, young man.
That's where you conduct business, of course, when you're a sleazy fucking salesman like he is.
And he's like, how about I make an offer you can't refuse?
You could be the king of small town BMX races. That could be you.
And then we cut away, and we see Duke and Elliot. Like, Duke's mad, so we assume that our hero, told him to fuck off.
Right.
And they go to Bart, wearing, like Griff pointed out, his oversized yellow sweater.
It's a good sweater.
And he's like, you better fucking win. I have so much invested in you. This crew kid, he's amazing.
I've never seen such raw determination and ability in a kid in my whole life.
Bart's like, he cheats. What the fuck? Who cares? Like, I easily won my qualified round.
For real.
I was
Maybe
in
that
first
is
place.
Bart's whole reaction to this. Like, that kid just fucking cheated all over the place. What do you mean? But, of course, that's what Duke would appreciate, is another cheater in life. Someone who cuts corners.
All right. I don't understand this. Why are they racing again? Because they already qualified, and the hell track hasn't happened yet. What is this scene?
This seems to just be something where they have to go sign in, but they have everything set up for autographs, and that maybe they're letting like the locals run the track or something. Because it's not Hell Track yet.
Is Hell Track like a 2-week event? They're like in this small town forever.
At least 5 days.
You think they just roll in for a day and they're out?
Right.
No.
It seems like they rolled in on a Wednesday, set up shop, did all the events. This is like Saturday, the big race is on Sunday type of deal.
Crew looking cocky as fuck, and then Elliot goes, excuse me, Mr. Jones. Here are the official rules. He had a little rule book.
Because he's trying to sign in.
Right. No sponsor, no race. And like, what? I thought we qualified. We didn't have to have a sponsor. I'm sorry. The rules are the rules.
Right. So this is, of course.
And then Burton, old man Burton, hears that, and even though he clearly hates Crew, we know that he believes in fairness, and he's just like,
He seems to be in favor of the local town too, because he's all about fucking over everybody.
Well, yeah,
He's the mayor.
I don't know what.
No. He was not the mayor. The mayor was a fat, gross guy.
He's just the Mr. Burns of the town.
Yeah, he's the one
He's
rich.
like, this is my town to exploit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. So he brought the big fish to the town because he was going to make even more money off of it,
right.
you know? And so he's all about it, and he's actually doubling down right now. He's doing a good hedge bet here where he can double win. And so he's like, wow, these guys are fucking with my local boy. Because he sees Elliot come in there with his fucking, mirrored shades and everything. New rule. And he's like, you know what? I don't like how they're playing this game anymore, so I'm going to tip the scales. I'm going to counter
We don't know
cheat.
that yet. He just gives a look. Like,
Yeah, no,
disapproving a look.
You've
I'm
seen
gonna,
enough 80s movies. You know he's cooking up something.
Exactly.
Yes. So Crew goes to Christian. She's like, hey, what's going on? He's like, I'm out of the fucking race. Like, what? And he's like, Duke wanted me to throw the race to Bart because they have so much money invested in Bart. All
Right.
these Bart T-shirts and shit.
Yeah. But you can race, right? Well, I need a sponsor. What's a sponsor? Well, a sponsor's like this guy riding by, and he comes over in his Diet Coke onesie. She's like, he's sponsored by Diet Coke. Don't you know any big corporate bigwigs? Yeah, Luke's in with AT&T. Beautiful. I loved it.
Well, there is the chicken plunking factory. Maybe I could go there, but no.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So he heads back to the diner. I love this. Like, it just happened. He's not allowed a moment to feel sorry for himself.
He really isn't.
Because he's bummed out as you would be. Everyone's like, fucking burn this motherfucking town down. They're on his side.
Our favorite Becky does say, if they're not going to let you race, I say we go tear that mother apart.
And Wesley comes in because she's always got her fucking side deals going on.
Again, this is why we love Wesley, though, right?
She's just like, hey, bro, look what I made for you. And it's this sweet-ass fucking silkscreen shirt. Rad Racing.
With a boxy man on a bike.
And he's like, yeah, that's great, but I'm not. What am I going to do with it? I'm out of the race. What the fuck, bro? And she's like, I was going to make big money off this shit. You know how much money I have invested? I invested all your $10,000 into my fucking T-shirt thing. What the fuck are we going to do?
Thankfully, there's always a Rube nearby. My kids love your T-shirt designs. I'll buy 2. Well, that'll be $20 because these are vintage now for some reason.
And then Crew goes, hey, we could bilk the goodwill of this town. I got an idea,
wow,
sis.
we're really drawing up Crew to be even worse than he is. He's like, how can I cheat this town for my favor?
We're going to use the rest of that $10,000 and your shirt, and we're going to get that money.
Man, in 86, I feel like you get a lot more for $10K than
we're
these
gonna
shirts.
sponsor ourselves.
Yeah.
Why do you need any money? Just go, hey, we're sponsoring ourselves.
Right. We do find out later
Yes,
that
we
they
do find out later.
tip the rules again.
So
but
they come out with a nice scam where they offer, the nerds have graciously given up their time. We will do all the jocks' homework if they do the grunt work. Making these
they were
shirts.
the only ones that could make the shirts. The nerds couldn't make the shirts.
Right.
Good.
This is another 80s trope.
It is a very 80s trope. They've taken up
Speaking of 80s tropes, somewhere while all of this was going on, Becky and Luke were involved in a different movie where Becky got made over because all of a sudden she shows up to the school where they're making the shirts looking like a hot chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Foxy and Tiger took her under their wing.
Yeah, since they weren't getting boned by Crew, they were like, we got to do something with our time.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's make Becky.
Yeah.
I
Who
see
was
it.
in Friday the 13th?
Oh, was she?
I guess that's what I looked up.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out who she was. So Mullins will know her
Was
right
that
away.
Mullins? Was that filmed in Calgary? So, yeah. So they got this plan. It's working beautifully, man. They're making these shirts, sweatshop style.
And as an 80s movie goes, they get the music right. They got the montage, making the shirts, music going on here.
Nerds like, I got a few wrong, so it would make it look like you did it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Next day at the races.
No, you missed that because that's where the big reveal comes, where we finally find out that Becky is a lady, because even Crew and Christian, they see the two of them walking out, and all of a sudden Luke puts his hand in Becky's back
Yes.
pocket, and Crew's like,
totally forgot.
holy shit,
Yeah.
She's a girl!
this whole time.
Oh, we also got to point out, they're also working on his own sweet racetrack outfit.
Yes.
Like they're doing
Yep.
the inseam.
Yes, and who's gonna measure him?
Christian.
But Christian, and he's freaking out because remember when they did a dance, he rode off. He's like, I can't let this girl talk to me after doing that dance, and now she's gonna measure his inseam.
Maybe he rode off because he had a boner.
Maybe.
He is a fucking teenager.
And she's getting her hand right up there. It's an inseam. Of course, her hand's there, and he's freaking out. And they've been talking about needles, and of course, little Wesley's in the background with the fucking needles, waiting to prod him. And so this is a
She's got like a torch on the needle. He just jabs his ass.
jabs him in the ass. He freaks out. Christian freaks out. I didn't touch you. And then they all gather up Wesley and spank her together. All 4 people.
I totally blanked out.
This
on
is
the
where you
scene.
can tell the cast is all getting along now.
Yes, exactly, because this scene is
Yeah,
awkward.
Luke's happy he's not gay. He's like, holy shit, I'm in love with a girl. You know, so he's happy.
Because
And
it's
then I like
hard.
how in the 3 days that Christian was there, she was like, oh yeah, they were totally into each other. How could you not tell?
Right, yeah.
know.
And Crew was
Yeah.
like, I thought Becky was a guy for like the past 10 years.
Have you ever seen that movie, Just One of the Guys? I've never found the
Well,
evidence.
can you blame her? Because the names have no gender specifics. Because an obvious girl is named Wesley.
Yeah.
So a boy could be named Becky in this weird town.
Yeah, sure.
Next day at the races, Bart, he's outsmarted them again. Bart sees this new operation and fucking he goes up to him. I guess he'll find out who the best racer is after all.
See, he's jazzed about it.
Right. He loves competition.
Yeah.
Right, and he pulls up in a fucking sweet car, and they're looking at everybody.
And he never cheats, by the way.
Never. It's true. He actually, he is the baby face of the fucking movie.
You guys are that redheaded little bastard from the beginning of the movie. All
Speaking
Bart
of
Taylor'd
redheaded
up at
little
this point.
bastards, isn't he in this scene?
Right.
Christian rolls up to the crew because they have a stand where they're selling all of the fucking
Oh, whoops.
T-shirts.
I know, Christian
yes.
rolls up to Christian.
Because you love that name.
I love it.
And they're like on their bikes, and he's like, "Hey, why do you have that number 1 on the plate of your bike?"
You think you're some kind of badass? Oh, why don't you find out?
And they do a little thing where they're just doing some off-road biking.
I mean, this should be right up there with Flashdance and like the factory and all
they're
that.
gonna some tabletops. It's awesome.
They get on the fucking roundabout and they, oh my
They
god,
fucking dive into a fucking lake.
Yep.
they ass
She
slide.
doesn't know that it's happening.
Yeah.
She thinks they're just doing a sweet jump, but jumps without knowing where she's going.
No guts, no glory.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how she lives.
No mattresses.
So now that they're wet, they've got to find a little shack to
she's
shack
wet.
up in.
She's definitely wet. So they
This is so weird.
they go to is this their hobo shack or is it another hobo shack?
This is, I thought it was a different hobo
I thought
shack.
it was too.
Yeah, because it was a
They
lakeside.
didn't have the sweet BMX posters up.
Yeah, it was a lakeside.
And it was lakeside.
Hobo suite.
So it's got
Shack.
a little fucking trash can for them to have a fire in.
Right.
She starts pouring. There's a pot here for some reason, and she's pouring cocoa packets into it.
She's bitching that there's no milk.
No milk? How could
Because that's at the other shack.
Yeah,
The kick
other
shack.
with all the kicks.
Crew is just staring off into space. He's dreaming of Hell Track. And she's like, "Hey, penny for your thought." And he's just like, "I don't know." He's starting having doubts.
I'm remembering when I was 4 years old and I first learned how to ride a bike, and my dad let go. My dad was there. He was still alive back then. And he let go, and I was in control, but I wasn't in control, and I was going so fast. And then the moment took over, and I haven't. This whole week, I've lost control.
Moment.
Yeah, it was rad.
I need to rein in my rad, is what he's trying to say.
And Lori Loughlin is doing a great job because she's looking at him like he is uttering the most prophetic words out of his mouth.
You know,
Yeah, and it's like when he's finally done, she tosses off her blanket, and they're
Are we
cold.
gonna fuck? What's up with this?
Yeah,
Nerd.
they're cold. They just dove into that wet ass fucking fall Alberta, Canada lake, and she's
They
like,
didn't just slide their asses; they slide all body.
yeah, she's like, I need to slide my ass up on you, and they get under the one blanket and they fucking peck each other on the cheeks, not the butt cheeks.
Next day, Burton rolls up on Duke, staring at Crew's booth, and he's just like, "Looks like you got a taste of the free enterprise, my friend. Trickle down economics."
Trickle down.
Duke's like, what can I do? This kid, he says every time I zig, he zags. How can I beat this guy?
Are you even following this movie as a kid at this point? Like this whole
This is where he really
interaction?
gets invested in it. When it comes down
Like
to
this middle ground between like the qualifying races to the final race, it seems like it's weird.
Yeah, but I mean, as a kid, you're just like, oh, the man wants to keep him down, and there's going to be another. Like, I didn't care about the second qualifying. I mean, I cared about the second qualifying race. That wasn't really a qualifying race.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, music, more bike riding.
Okay.
I could care less about the hot cocoa shack.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just gross. It's
Yeah.
Icky.
Icky.
So Duke comes up, and we see Wesley and that fucking ginger cunt. Please let me in. Because remember, he's a bandwagon jumper.
That's right.
So he's like, please let me have one crew shirt.
Everybody else has one. I'll be a nerd if I don't.
I got 2 words for you. fucking you. And Cruz is like, come on, give one of the ripped ones at least.
Yeah, this one I farted on. It's ripped.
I wiped my ass with this one. It'll be $20.
I call this one the crew rag.
And he buys it because this fucking kid's a douchebag.
He needs to fit in. I mean, come on, Murray. He's looking pretty rough.
So Duke's wanting to talk, and Wesley's like, you want to blab or you want to buy?
Again, Wesley slaying every scene.
She's got her fucking mind on her money and her money on her mind.
Right.
And
Talk about strong female characters. This girl's killing.
And she's like, we are rolling in the dough. And then Elliot pops up. Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's got his fucking loose leaf binder with all the rules.
Right. Duke chimes in. How much would you say you're rolling in the dough? Well, we sold 48.
480.
Oh, it was 48.
Yeah,
at $10 a pop.
$480.
Yeah, $480. And then he does the
Duke
math.
did the math
backwards from 50K. Any others,
Which Griff can't do. So
yeah, 42,000.
Really boxed yourself in there, pal.
God damn it!
You better pause and do the math correctly.
480. So that's
$49,520.
See, I bought Murray enough time. You guys didn't see this, but Murray.
I'm not even going to adjust that for inflation, but it's a lot of money, but not enough. Because apparently, according to the new rule book, you need 50K.
See, Bill Maher didn't even have this bit until he watched this movie.
Yes, he's a huge fan of Rad.
Oh, huge fan.
He actually played the ginger kid.
He did.
So you're fucked. These kids are fucked.
He wanted to be one of the Ronsley twins. Or Reynolds twins.
So Duke goes up to Bert and he's like, my boy's going to win. And Burton's like, no, my idea, boy. I don't think so. And he's just fucking because he's pissed. He believes in fair play.
Right. Again, he doesn't want to see his local being fucked over here. So he's like, you're like something I stepped in once. He's calling him a piece of shit.
Crew runs back. He's done everything he can to get around all these obstacles, usually by cheating. But still, he's getting by them. And so he runs to his clubhouse.
I'm realizing Duke and Crew have a lot in common. Because they both just skirt the rules and make their own.
That's why they hate each other so much.
That's why they hate each other. Excuse me.
You guys are ruining this for me.
Is Duke Crew's father?
The truth.
Is Duke Crew's father?
Yes. He rolled. That's why his dad is real. I'm using air quotes. Left because mom fucked Duke.
Oh,
Mom was a cocktail waitress. Yes, Mom was a cocktail waitress. He was at the bar. He was probably like scouting out places for Hell Track.
For Hell Track, of course.
And they had because this idea has been 18 years in the making.
Of course it was. Yeah. Well, he
had the idea for Hell Track on a cocktail napkin. She was like, "What are you getting?
It looks very much like your illustration of a Battletoads level right there.
Right.
That's from the comic book shop 15 years ago. Murray scratching out. It's on that little green. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what happened. You're absolutely right. And they're never going to know it. That's the thing. That's a tragedy of this movie. This movie's not feel good after all. It's a tragedy.
It's a tragedy. Sorry, Pigeon. Sorry.
So, Key's pouting.
Tragedy is what Christian says to Crew.
Yeah, it's like he's not allowed 1 second to feel bad. She's like, bitch.
She's got mongoose money behind her.
Right.
And she's like, you're acting like a bitch.
She's being just like toured around the fucking country just to show up, not to do anything.
Ass sliding around, and then she's just like, you're not a man.
Oh, because things aren't going your way, you quit. I thought you were a man. And then just walks out on him.
And we go to the next morning, and everything's peppy again. It's like we restarted the movie.
Yeah, this made no sense. He needed that. He know what he got? An attitude adjustment. What she needed earlier.
Yeah, okay.
So he gets his attitude adjusted, and this time he does his paper route perfectly. Everywhere where they ask it to be, on the porch.
You get to see the porch guy again, and he's like, yeah.
That young man's pretty good. Right at the front door, Burton's place, the pizza place.
Right. And he was still like, how am I going to fleece this town over for another $1 billion? And when he got that paper on time with his fucking cheese calzone and his coffee, it was just like, I really do owe it to this town.
And this is where crew learns you do things the right way instead of cutting corners and cheating.
Oh,
because he does it the right way, and he gets the time that he wanted to.
This
the
is
first
right.
time ever.
Mrs. Gray gets her paper 5 minutes early. Just like he said. And this is why this movie actually has pretty good writing, because you led into it in the first half of the movie. Right in that opening Paperboy scene. He said, this is what I want to do, and
When
he's accomplished
you follow
it.
the rules and do what people ask of you, you succeed.
That's right.
I can't believe you two are advocating for rule following.
Rocky would never follow the rules.
Hey, if you want fucking Foxy and Tiger, you follow the rules. You want some dubious it's he, she, you do the crew way. You do the crew cuts. All right, this I think is finally the fucking race. We're like at day 23 of Hell Track.
Hell Track is
it's like Burning Man or some shit.
It's snowing at this point in fucking Alberta, Calgary.
Duke is meeting with Norm, the mongoose fucking dealer.
Again, we have not had this character in this movie.
Yeah, he just pops up.
Introduced in the last 20 minutes.
So I guess Norm is a guy who is in charge of buying the mongoose products.
And he has already bought all the mongoose products, so he operates the big bike store.
Yep.
I thought the whole thing was that Duke has made all the products, but he hasn't sold them yet. I thought that was the issue. Because that's why he was sweating that Bart wasn't going to win.
Yeah, they're worried about that, but it sounded like he already sold it, but he needed to make his money back by his profits were going to come from Norm selling the bikes, and the only way they could sell the bikes
is if Bart wins.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like Norm hasn't bought the products from. Duke has made everything with Bart's name on it.
Oh, okay.
But he hasn't sold it to Norm yet.
Okay.
So he's like, no, Bart will win and move all your product. Norm is fucking looking nervous. So he's like, I don't like this. You see that kid, that crew kid?
Right. But
tenacity, his guts.
We know there's controversy still because locals aren't allowed in this race unless they have a $50,000 sponsorship. So in City Hall, all the townsfolk are getting together. They're up in arms about crew being left out of the race. And that's when Sergeant Slaughter steps up and he finally takes his sunglasses down. He's like, these kids, man, I thought this town
I'm not even a real cop. They show me respect. That's got to mean something to you guys.
Right.
They're like, what? You're not a cop? Like, what the? Who's been running the fucking police department here? They don't have no idea.
And his message is like, we need to teach his kids that life isn't all about money. His dream was stamped.
Give me some money.
His dream was stamped out because he couldn't pay to play, and now we need to pay for him to play. So let's fork it over.
We shouldn't let a few dollars kill these kids' hope. And a young Barack Obama was watching this and did his whole campaign around Rad.
Now, Pigeon.
That's Rad.
Here we go. Crew, after finishing up the paper road on time for the first time, he's got the whole city behind him. He heads over to the ice cream shop where he knows for a fact Christian will be.
And the latest comic books will be.
I loved it. I paused it. I took a photo of it just so I could study what was on the rack.
I saw G.I. Joe on the rack.
Yeah.
I probably own that issue.
It was Marvel heavy.
Very Marvel heavy. And, of course, Murray heard that. He was like, this chick doesn't have tits.
What? Oh, yeah.
Because I was talking about the comic rack, and you thought I was talking about the chick's rack.
Yeah.
Well,
And then you showed us a picture, and it's a woman in the foreground.
Yeah,
So,
knowing Pigeon like I know him, I assume.
yeah.
He's all about objectifying, but comics apparently.
No. Come on, first trivia contest. I was
What
able to
are
match
you-
those 80s boobs.
Yes,
Lickety
you did.
split.
You did.
Stop.
It's another story you guys will never know about. But crew and then makeup over some ice cream. We just saw, Griff, the Midwest mating game.
Yes.
First base, sharing an ice cream cone. Second base, doing a nice dance routine with bicycles.
Bike dance, yeah.
Third base, ass sliding.
Ass sliding.
Home run, we know what that is. That's the Michigan mating game. The Midwest mating game. The Calgary mating game.
Yeah, they are not just like having, like subtle little licks on this ice cream. They're like fucking gnawing on this mound of ice cream. It is very sensual. It is very suggestive. It is not, kids playing here. These are adults.
So erotic, we got to cut away to City
do.
Hall.
We really do.
And they're pooling their money. Everyone's donating something, but there's still $27,000.
They're not even halfway there.
No.
It's really
and 10 of it is cruise money.
Right.
Yeah, I
like
thought that
that.
was so funny. I was expecting to be like, oh, we're 10,000. No, they're 27,000. They couldn't even meet them halfway across the sky.
At the tracks, our announcers are calling out all the rad racers. They met the requirements. They got the money. But how did they do that? The last thing we saw, they were 27,000 in the hole.
Whoo, just so happy.
We don't ask questions. We don't ask his questions. We're just happy that Rad Racing's competed.
This is our official announcer announcing this, and Duke's by his side, and he's just like, oh, no fucking way. He's choking on himself. He's so angry.
Duke, Zaymont, Tomat, come to me.
He tells the bitches to leave first because they're
Right.
at their booth, and of course
Right.
they're selling the merch.
Yeah, the booth babes.
Booth babes. I gotta talk to these boys.
One thing. There's another movie. It's a Pretty Woman type story where or not the Pretty Woman, but where Tiger and Foxy teach all the girls in the town to sex their look up and look
Sure.
like women.
It's true.
Because we said this is a total dyke town that they live
I thought
in.
you guys were going to go. I thought you were taking it a step further and you were going to explain the plot of Debbie Does Dallas.
I don't even know the plot of Debbie Does Dallas. But
What? The cheerleaders need to raise money,
yeah, right.
so they have a car wash.
No.
One
This
of them works at the record.
This is where Foxy and Tiger go to every girl that has her hair up and glasses on, takes their glasses
them
up,
off,
pulls it,
teases
and they're
it.
like, "You're a hoe now. Use your sexual powers." And all the girls do it. All the hoes show up. There's like a whole
Yes, there's
Yeah.
there's Ho Row, and right out of Bob's Barker's Ho's Rose.
Yeah.
But I will point out, I didn't realize how Canadian this movie was until my second watch through. I'm sorry, guys, but when I was
we get a lot of. We have at least 5 Canadian listeners. So
Yeah.
they're gonna appreciate what you're doing for their country.
yeah, guys.
Tourism is gonna triple.
I love Toronto and probably
we have
other
to figure
places.
out if they actually ass slide in Canada.
Yeah, please let us know if ass sliding is a thing and what that's like, because I've been under the bridges. We all know this, and I think they're ass sliding under there, but I don't know. I want to point out all the Canadian tuxedos I saw, jean on jean, denim on denim. When the girls get to them, when Tiger and Foxy get to them, I saw a girl who was wearing see-through pants. You just saw her drawers.
Or
That's
drawers.
another other episode.
That's how they say it in
reference.
Canada, though. Drawers. Because that's the whitest fucking country on the planet. I'm sorry.
But yeah, they're hoed to the nines.
You love it. It's
Hoes
great. It's
for
beautiful.
shows.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
So, there's 3 movies going on in this movie.
really
There's so many
is.
layers. This is why it takes 3 hours, people.
Yeah.
We could do 15 minutes and go, oh, this was rad. Ha, ha, ha. This sucked. Ha, ha, ha. No.
We would never do that to you guys.
No.
We always want to sit you down for 5 days and give you the real.
So, fucking Duke's basically twins sweep the leg.
Right.
Which, by the way, they don't even do. They still follow the rules, don't they? They don't fucking.
They knock.
They
them
run
over
like
once.
interference, don't they? But they don't really do.
I think they knock Crew over one time in the race. Does that sound right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Duke confronts Timmer, and he's like, "I know you gave those fucking little kids the money."
Well, did you already talk about what Duke had to say to Brett?
Win or else?
Oh, Brett. Okay.
Bart.
Okay. Bart.
Yeah, you're still in Calgary with Bret Hart. Like, no, it's Bart.
I am.
Bret
But
Hart, Bart, Brett.
Bart takes that poorly.
Well,
and
of course
as-
you would. He's
and-
done everything this guy's asked of him
Yeah.
and more.
And as Duke's walking away, Bart actually gives him the Canadian finger. Go to hell,
Burton.
Okay.
Hey, does Bart give him a finger? I thought Burton gives him the finger.
Burton gives him the
Burton
finger.
is flying the bird throughout the rest of this movie.
Right.
Yeah.
This is where the billionaire clash happens. He's like,
It's Elon and
"Excuse me."
Bezos all over again.
Right. excuse me, what are you trying to do? I hear there was a private investor into radical racing. Oh, I just feel like the shirts are going to skyrocket in price pretty soon here, and I thought I'd be on the cutting edge of that.
In on the ground floor.
That's right. And, of course, Duke has to fight back with, well, you know what 50% of zero is, right?
They never tell us what this plot was that Burton had with Duke, but they always refer to it.
Yes.
Like, you stand to lose as much as I do. What? What do you... I still say Burton was siphoning off city funds to make Alpha.
I agree with this. Yeah, I agree with this.
What do you think?
I like your guys' subplot.
This is what we're
I
here
love
for.
the fact that there's stuff I didn't pay attention to as a kid that you're now filling in the gaps for me, so I don't have to feel like this movie's
next time you watch it in a year.
This is not a kids movie.
This is not a kids
movie. I'm
movie.
going back. I'm gonna notice all the Canadian references now.
Oh, you're gonna see all the Canadian tuxedos, and then when you come back to this race and you see the see-through pants and everything the girls are wearing, the hoe show that's happening.
You know where I go. I need to look at those see-through pants.
That's right. The drawers.
Crew is all geared up now. He's signing the cast of like a real-life BMX guy's cast because he broke his leg on the set of the movie. So they say, hey, let's just throw that in there.
Nice.
Everyone's like, crew. Christian finally goes, you have my blessing, my child.
That's right. She is wearing her mongoose outfit with like the V, but it's just, I didn't know I was into Lori Loughlin. And she's
a cute girl, yeah.
She was in Full House. And Becky?
Yep.
Yeah. And so...
Which makes sense that the same Stamos twins would be like with her. Yeah.
Yep. Everything comes together.
The Sarge is even like, hey there, just pretend it's a lumberyard. Go balls out. Original title of this movie, Balls Out. They stole that line from fucking Sarge. Means nothing now.
All right. So Burton, billionaire Burton, is going to sit down with the common folk, and the common folk are cheering for him.
I think if you're making $100K a year, you're the fucking richest guy in this town. So
yeah, of course.
And he's flipping the bird off. He's like, is this how you do it? Is this how you poor people do it?
Fuck these people, these outsiders. Cochrane #1, bitches. That's why he's got everybody behind him. And this is where we get that fucking glorious scene where we introduce all 20 racers. And
real life BMX guys.
Oh my god, the dorks and the fucking dweebs and
these are athletes.
Yeah.
Athletes, okay, excuse me.
Dirt stashes galore.
Oh my god.
You got one guy who looks like he's 50.
Yes.
And we're getting this is where we thankfully
those guys were legit stars in 1986-87.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were pulling foxies and tigers.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
those dirt stashes were being ridden by foxies and tigers. How does that make you feel?
Makes me wish I hadn't got my bike stolen.
This was Murray's life, but his bike was.
It was
how
stolen
different
from
your
me.
life would have been if your bike had been
I got
stolen.
a great mustache. And
Yeah.
I refuse to wear a mustache because of that.
It's so amazing. Murray has the most powerful mustache. I love my mustache, but Murray's mustache. Whew.
Never.
It makes
never
us
wear
sweat when he grows it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find me a foxy.
All right, so this is where we get some more cuts over to everybody showing up in the town, and they've gone from hating to supporting Crew. Got that one right. You got Blob there in his best Griff outfit. He's got the corduroy jacket and a weird blotchy green button-up thing, and he's tapping on some old Asian woman. Hey, I know that kid in the red. Grabs the popcorn. That's total Griff.
I do like the fact that he makes a point of being like, I know Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that we've spent an entire movie expressing that this is a small town, so I would assume everyone knows Crew.
Yes.
He's the guy who delivers their fucking papers.
Yes. That's why I was annoyed when Mom shows up and sits next to the
Mrs.
woman,
Cake. Yeah.
Mrs. Cake, and Miss Cake goes, that boy in red is a real cool kid. He's a local, too. You should watch him. This is Mom. Small town. Shouldn't they know each other?
Know.
What is Mom doing where nobody knows her?
She's the...
Is this a Sixth Sense movie,
Well,
too?
obviously
Is she
everyone
dead?
hates her because she's worthy of being hated.
Maybe that's it. Maybe
She's
that's
like
it.
probably the mom that wants to shut down dancing too. This is Footloose Town.
Oh, okay.
And she's just like that satanic fucking music and dancing.
Right. All right.
Bicycle riding leads to sin, you know.
Here's the quick part of the movie because the race is beginning, everybody.
I wanted to just point out.
Please.
I found this fucking race uninspiring, untense. I felt no tension. The track was shit.
Right.
It took 2 weeks to film this.
2 weeks?
2
Really?
weeks. Yes.
That just shows you how hellish this track is.
I
Yeah,
was
really.
so it's heck track, if anything. I was so unimpressed with this final. This is the guy
Your
that did
bikeless ass couldn't race hell track.
This is the guy that gave us Cannonball Run, people. And he can't make
He was working with Reynolds money back then. Now he's got Dollar Store Williams.
Yeah, it's true. This movie cost $3 million to make, only made 2.
No.
That's rough.
But yeah,
Cult classic.
all I got to say, this track not so rad.
It was. It looked flimsy. There was definitely cool parts. Like I love the thing.
Said like a dude who doesn't ride a bike and a softballer.
Wow.
Man.
You think you'd be able to drop into hell track?
You just
That
said
looks steep.
you just said you got soft balls. That was the only fucking hard part. Was that the
I
beginning?
don't know that jump onto the ramp where the two guys.
That's
were
what I was
there.
trying.
That's a little
We
tough.
see that in the
But the
Ninja
thing
Warrior.
looked pretty muddy, which would also suck.
Yeah. Even though
What's supposed to
the
be?
fucking bumps after that decline there, that would have been fucking tough to do.
Plus, you're trying to, there's there's only 20.
19 other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're trying to get through there with 19 other guys.
It's gonna be fucking.
Well, you know what? If you just go off the track, it's no problem at all.
But not anymore. Now he's following the rules.
No.
He wins it by cheating.
He does.
But we'll get to that.
He makes a shortcut, but he does a backflip while he's doing the shortcut, and everyone goes, "Wow, a backflip!"
Yeah, they're so dazzled by his like flash, they don't see he's cheating.
But he cuts through, and he doesn't even have to do it off a giant ramp like he's been practicing. He hits the tiniest bump and rips off a backflip. It's incredible. I love that part because I was just like, "Wait, what?"
Well, before that happens, we get Rex and Rod running interference for Bart. Bart's in the lead.
Right.
The whole fucking race.
Right.
They're like they knock down Crew?
I believe they do. Yep. At one moment,
And
knock
they
him down.
fucking I think then Bart like knocks them down, right?
Bart knocks one of them down. The other one had already been knocked out.
Yeah, he knocks Rod down.
Yeah.
And Rod's like, "What the fuck, man?"
And our announcer even calls it out. Whoa, he's taking away the strategy of the team winning.
Team Mongoose.
Yeah.
So
Because they needed to be mano a mano, man.
yeah,
Right.
only one person wins.
America versus Russia.
There we go.
Right, and that's what Bart wanted. He's like, "I don't care. I could beat my team anytime I want. I have to beat this kid." Because he stops.
Right. And he waves on.
Yeah, I was also like, oof.
Yeah.
Like if he hadn't stopped, he would have smoked Crew.
Yeah, exactly.
Crew's got a whole head of steam. He's at a full stop and has to catch up to
Yeah.
Crew at that point. And he does catch up to him.
And I was like again, to the point of like he hasn't really done anything to come off like a complete prick, so you're rooting against him. Like I was kind of like, well, it was nice of him to let him catch up to him.
The worst thing he did was demand a seat at a restaurant that was full.
Yeah.
That was his one crime.
That was his one
Which,
heel
I mean,
move.
is a pretty big one. And he also tried to, violate Lori Loughlin. Because we don't know what he whispered. It could have been some real sick shit.
Yeah. Okay.
He could have been like, I want to make Wesley watch.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we got to make it dark, man.
We do.
We're rooting for Crew.
We do. Oh,
So
my God.
yeah, he waits for him.
Bart is Calgary, Canada, and Crew is America. I know you're all Team Bart
And
over there.
just like Americans do, and just like Canadians do, Canadians follow the rules, and Bart and Crew breaks the rules, but does it in such a cool way, much like we do as Americans.
That's right.
I got to go back and watch the scene because I don't remember him skipping any part of the
Dude,
track.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was so
it's
dazzled
literally-
by the backflip.
It's
Yep.
literally the track is like this. He just comes this way, does a backflip, and then jumps in front of fucking Bart.
He does.
But he
Yeah.
dazzled him with the move so well that Christian taught him.
Yep.
that he wins. They're so fucking blown away.
I'm just happy they built that up throughout the movie, and then they worked it in there.
That
So
just
I'm
shows
happy.
you how the early days of BMX. I mean, I'm sure guys do that a million times. Like do
Probably.
triple flips now, and it's
Probably,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, did you see that backflip?
Hey, I mean,
It was like seeing the backflip in No Retreat, No Surrender, where he backflips and kicks Jean-Claude in the face. You're
Yeah.
like, holy shit, I've never seen anything like it. Now it's like, whatever.
I remember when Tony Hawk was trying to rip off the 900, watching that live on MTV, and like the joy that I experienced with my brother and sister when he fucking did. We were fucking shouting. We were screaming. That's what this had
Murray's
to be.
looking at you like, you goddamn kid. I was there when they invented skateboards.
I remember when the skateboards were half as wide.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. And that motherfuckers were doing that shit when those fucking. Yeah, now they have like
Those
giant
longboards?
fucking-
Yeah.
Those little tiny ones.
Yeah. Okay,
And
guys.
Fisher Price wheels when he was into skateboarding.
That was the first skateboard I bought from a garage sale. Was like the super
I wasn't
thin
even-
with the
skateboard
giant.
is white boy shit. I wasn't even into skateboarding. We're like corniest white boy shit.
He was
We didn't do
busy
that.
working on his J shot, his fadeaway jumper.
Exactly, and it was beautiful.
Guys, we're neck and neck. We're coming to the final stretch of the race here. We're so close. Of course, Crew is going to edge it out, but he can't just win. He's got to do a fucking 360 across the finish line.
Of course, rub it in like Americans do.
Like
This is
Americans
America.
do. Of course, the crowd goes into a frenzy. Dookies himself, chasing down Norm. I swear to God, we'll still sell the mongooses. Oh, my God.
Sarge salutes fucking Crew.
Right. Duke has to go over to Bard and tell him, you're never going to fucking work in this business again. And then, Bart just shoos him off. We follow Bart then. We see Ron and Rex pull up. Hey, man! You're a fucking bitch! We're no longer your friend. We're taking Tiger and Foxy, and we're leaving this podunk.
So Bart is fucking. His whole life is stripped from him.
You think
And it was his own fault because he let fucking Crew catch up to him.
Yeah. And you think he would be bothered by that, but he's just like, no. I got to go over.
He didn't run to his shack and cry.
No, he didn't. He went over and shook Crew's hand. I just want to say Clue.
And Wesley's like, nice ride, bitch. And he's like, think you got room for another? Maybe.
Freeze frame.
They lift the bike together, freeze frame.
And then we get some more sweet ass
Flatland tricks.
Flatland tricks.
While the credits roll. Guys,
Wow.
I know we do this every fucking
No, I
time.
knew
in
this
your
was
heart.
gonna. I knew this was gonna go 3 hours. Did it go 3 hours?
It's 2:52.
Oh my! First of all, thank you, Pitch. Good to have you on.
Oh, thanks for
I
having
See you
me.
guys again.
apologize to anyone listening, not hearing him because his mouth wasn't on the mic, half
True.
of it. But you
My
didn't talk
bad.
isn't that much.
My
so,
bad.
So it was good.
Every time we do this. Every time.
Yeah, you'll figure it out one day.
I get nervous about heavy breathing into the mic.
Oh, no, you're good.
By the way, people, Pitching had his own podcast for fucking how many episodes did you do?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, so yeah, he's not new to this,
I'm not.
but he's rusty.
Trusty. There we go.
All right, next week, I'm calling Audible, Griff. Since we're doing movies I enjoy, we're gonna do another classic movie that I like.
So you're saying you enjoyed Rad?
It was, I enjoyed Foxy and Tiger,
There was parts to
and
it.
they were
though,
part
yeah.
of Rad. They were rad.
They were rad.
I was thrilled when I found out that you both hadn't seen this movie because I was just like, oh, it's rare that there's a movie that you can make fun of this
Right.
much that you guys haven't seen.
I mean, it was not one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It was entertaining. There was good parts to it.
No, it was.
It's not boring.
Yeah, it was fun.
Exactly. That's the worst thing you can be is
yeah.
boring. And this movie is not boring. There's a lot of shit to enjoy in this movie.
It was perfect for our show. Let's put it that way.
All right.
That as well. Like sometimes Murray will not text me about a movie that we're covering, and that's when it's like, oh boy, are we gonna have a hard time with this? But Murray was texting me about Foxy and Tiger the whole fucking time he was watching.
No, I was
it.
like, we're gonna have fun with this
Yeah.
because this is a classic '80s movie.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, that's what we're about.
Classic-
Even though we go every decade.
The
now,
80
but-
douchebag villain, like the twins,
Yeah.
that's some of my favorite character types. So I love those villains. They're great. Revenge of the Nerds did this to me.
movie we're gonna do next week. I think our audience is hip enough that they've seen this movie. But if you haven't seen this movie, I implore you to watch it before you listen to our episode, because there is a surprise. This movie starts out one way and then turns into a different movie.
Okay.
I think this is, my opinion, Kyle MacLachlan's greatest performance.
Oh, I think I know.
It's a little movie from the late, came a couple years after Rad.
Okay.
Called The Hidden.
Yes.
I've been meaning to do this for a while. We're finally going to fucking do
I
it.
love this movie.
We're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie?
Nope.
I implore you to see it.
I'm
going to guess it's on Mike's Plex, maybe.
going to tell you right now, it's on Mike's Plex. I watched this last year when I was in Colorado, and it is a very good movie. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, you were ass sliding in Colorado?
Oh my God, the ass sliding they do. They do the Rocky Mountain ass sliding, and I don't. We've already gone too long.
So I'm not going to say anything about it because I want you to enjoy it with fresh eyes. I hope it's not boring to your wife, by the way. Yeah, she thinks Escape from New York is boring. Can you believe it? So we'll see you next week. Keep it warm.